Do not adjust your radio dial. You are tuned in to the Mark Order Podcast. Join the Mark Order.
Oh, I'm falling out. I am falling out after Double or Nothing. And we're here to talk about all of it. Because it's Wednesday night and you know what that means. It is the Mark Order Podcast, part of the Shining Wizards Network, live on YouTube, and later in podcast form. So, yeah, we're here starting it off like we usually do.
As we do.
2 live crew. For those who don't know, that means 2 for me, 2 for you.
You go me, I go scream.
Well, I like pointing to you, but I mean you people out there that I'm pointing to right now. AntMoney and Ryan Schlong here to kick things off. Apparently, Miss Hollywood will be making her way in at some point.
Her camera apparently isn't working.
You know, it's never a problem any other night of the week.
Just when it's the good guys.
Seriously, when it's the A show. Howdy, Sloanamite. Nice to see you in the chat. And howdy, everybody else watching us live on YouTube. We are going to talk about plenty of wrestling tonight. We got a lot of stuff to cover. We've got Double or Nothing. We're going to recap that show for you and some of the immediate news sort of coming out of that show from Sunday. And we're also going to talk about the Fallout episode of Dynamite tonight. That's going to be essentially, setting up new stories for, I guess, Forbidden Door and beyond, and Collision. So we've got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. So we'll get to that. Hello, SJ. Hello, Gordon Post. Hello, Asian Joe. Hello, Mrs. Money. Chat's full tonight. It's like the A-team right off the bat in the chat.
Bumping.
You know it. So, Schlong, we did for those who don't know, we did a pre-show for Double or Nothing on Sunday. You, me, and Kate were talking about the show. We kind of did a little run-up to the pay-per-view to set everybody up and gave our picks, and we're going to talk about what happened during the show. But Ryan, you had a hard out because you had a barbecue.
I had to go cook food.
You were cooking.
That's part of why I had such a hard out, is because I was the one doing the grilling for the family.
And how did it go?
It went well. Lots of burgers, lots of dogs, some shrimp.
Shrimp.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the stuff I had to do. I'm sure
Now,
there was other. Oh, and I did some baked beans.
Okay. Now, shrimp on the grill, I believe, is sort of easy, right? They don't necessarily take too long.
No, shrimp are easy.
But, like, you got to be careful with shrimp because you let them go, like, 1 second too far, and it's rubber.
You have to do it. They have to be your sole attention.
Right.
Like, you can step away from your burgers and dogs for a little bit, and the worst thing that happens is they're a little overdone, unless you step away from them for a while.
Well, right.
But if you step away from shrimp too long, yeah, you get rubber. It's the worst thing in the world.
Very bad. Well, yours weren't rubber, I assume. You're a consummate
No,
professional.
They were well done.
Well, not well done, but they were done
they
well.
Were properly done.
There you go. They weren't well done. They were done well.
There you go.
Now, did you like marinate them in anything? Did you do like a
Uh,
rub
they
or
it was kind of like that's where my brother-in-law helped out, and by helped out, I mean he found every seasoning he could find and was just like, "Here, we're gonna do this."
okay.
Usually,
Okay.
I just do lemon and garlic.
Yeah, that's pretty classic. Like a little garlic, little lemon, maybe lemon pepper.
Yeah, well, yeah, you could throw in the
Okay. I like it, Schlong. And of course, baked beans. I mean, it's, what better to celebrate an American holiday than some baked beans?
yes, from a can because I am not making them any
No,
other way. I don't know anyone who does.
no.
Though heated on the grill.
They're still grilled baked beans.
Yes.
All right. So burgers, dogs, shrimp, baked beans. Anybody do anything else? Like, I know sometimes these barbecues can do like, I think you got to do burgers and dogs. Like that's classic. Shrimp is a nice bonus. Sometimes people will do like a ribs or a chicken wings or something like that.
Well, half of the people there are vegan,
What the
so
fuck?
I had to do vegan burgers and vegan sausage.
What the fuck?
So it kept it from being uh it stopped me from doing ribs. I've done ribs before, obviously, but
Well, the party's over now.
looks like someone's cam. Oh, I just saw the name.
Oh my god, who cares?
I went
Me,
to
I
see
do.
that
I
time.
do. I care. Tonight was for me. Tonight was an episode that was for Kate.
You didn't even need it.
What do you mean?
You didn't need it. We knew it was coming. We knew it last week.
Yeah, but now no one could say to her like maybe it doesn't happen.
Yeah, but now he's coming back.
Ugh, we'll talk about it. Kate, we were recapping Schlong's barbecue. Like we knew he had a hard out on Saturday
Yes.
after the preview show because he said, I've got to jump immediately because I got to cook. And he was saying they did burgers and dogs. They did shrimp. He did baked beans. And then he started giving some bullshit about having to cook vegan burgers and fucking sausage.
Okay, well, two of the best technical wrestlers in the world, mate, are vegan. So maybe get on it so you can. Brian Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr.
Who's that kid? Oh, I'm in the way.
You're well in the way. You have to disappear yourself. Ryan is going
is that,
to
Kate?
disappear.
CSJ, mate. TMDK, baby. Young punks. Let's fucking go. Give me Zack Sabre Jr. and Danielson. I get to review 2 Zack Sabre Jr. matches this week. He's having like the best run with this New Japan TV title. Might drop it to Jeff Cobb, but who even cares? Oh my god. Wrestling is hot right now. Tonight was a 4K episode.
Today, well, Kate, before we move on to today's stuff,
Well, we're gonna talk about what else Ryan cooked. Who fucking cares?
No.
Let's talk about wrestling.
I'm asking how did you do anything special for the holiday? The American holiday, Memorial Day.
No, I did 5 reviews over the weekend.
But like not, Monday, you didn't do any, like no barbecue, no pool or anything like that over the weekend?
No, I slept and I cleaned a lot.
Yeah, sometimes those like found off days are good for that. You know what I mean?
I really needed one because I have Excite this weekend too, so I have like 2 weekends in a row that are just completely shot. But
Is it live or not live?
I don't know about Friday yet, but Saturday will be. I think I'm just doing Saturday, which is cool, which is all good.
Just
but
one
it's
day?
just
What
like
a slacker.
I know, but I'll be doing the Friday night show at Fightful if I'm not there. So
slacker. All right, so you didn't do anything.
I didn't, but it was a beautiful day.
It was.
And I cleaned, and just like the dumb shit of like I switched over the rest of my wardrobe into summer clothes and slept real late. And I cleaned off my porch. I did some white girl shit. I like decorated outside.
Decorated outside.
I did, and I went to the farm and I got some more produce.
Okay. Okay.
Some white girl shit.
Sounds good. Yeah, that is very white girl shit. Did you
Yeah.
have a latte while you were doing all that?
I did not, but it's Arnold Palmer season.
It's Arnie Palmy season. Do
It
you get
is.
down? Do you get down with a John Daly?
On occasion,
Oh, all
if
right.
the situation calls for it. I also got my hair done.
Look at that.
Thank you.
Don't say anything. We're guys.
That's why I was just like, look at that.
You're guys who get mani-pedis and you hang out.
No,
I do get
no.
mani. I don't get no. I'll correct you on one thing. Never had a mani.
No.
I think
should.
I would like to do one. I'm sure
When
my
they-
fingers could use it.
When they clear out your cuticles and they get dirt under your nails that you didn't know existed, and then you get the hand massage, oh, it's a good
I could use a hand massage because I did something getting back into the gym routine. I did something and my hand is fucking killing me.
Oh no.
I just feel like I pulled something in my hand, which is weird.
That happens though. I've had that like in my wrist before.
Weird. I do need my feet done though. I do need my
So do
feet
I.
done. I was just, you can ask Mrs. Money's in the chat. I was saying to her tonight on the couch, I do need a new petty. Now that's not true. I see this note in the chat. He may get petties, but wouldn't notice if I lost my head. That's not true at all. I would notice. I'd be like, there's something different.
You're like, huh?
Did you do your hair?
New haircut.
That's not true. Mrs. Money got her hair done last
Oh.
week. She got
Oh, I saw pictures on Instagram. I think
Yeah.
I saw an IG story and she looked delightful.
Yeah, she was a hair model. So she got to go get she was a model because they were doing a class at the salon. So they were doing some I don't
She's
know.
a model because she's fucking hot.
Well, yeah, but it was something where I don't know if it was a perm or if it was like a perm, but it's not a perm. You know what I mean? But it gives you the same benefits of getting a perm.
Perm-like behavior.
It was a free perm. She just put in the chat.
Nice.
Okay.
And you should grow your hair out and get a perm.
Ryan, I got news for you, buddy. I think this is pretty much as far as it gets now.
This is Ant.
And it's
Looking
not
shaggy.
even it's not even like good. Like you could see there's a lot of blank spots now. So
But the perm would cover that all up.
the perm would. It would just give me volume. I see my barberess is so in high demand. I couldn't even the next time I could book a proper head shaving is in July. So until then, I'm going to be taking the trimmer.
Who's this gal that is so in demand?
She owns the salon and the barbershop.
Nice.
She's awesome, but she's in very high demand. So I have to start booking things when I'm actually there because I'm always like, I'll do it later. And then next time I look, it's like she's booked for 3 months.
That tracks.
I go to the Sports Clip app, sign in, and then just go when they tell me that I'm up.
If you were like Kate, and you just said Ryan haircut, I would have been like, he goes to Sports Clips.
It's just
You just do. Like, of course you do.
You know,
is there anywhere else?
did I tell you why I
Sports
know
Clips and plain t-shirts. That's Ryan.
you're in a plain shirt right now, guaranteed. Black, just straight black.
Is either that or a sports logo. Yeah,
There you go.
exactly.
There you go.
I love
And
that
it
for
wouldn't
you.
even be, it doesn't even need to be a logo, Kate. It's just a picture of a baseball.
Like a little 8-year-old shirt.
I wish oh my God, now I wish I had that.
Oh my god.
Or just like a white shirt with a hockey puck on it and a stick that just says hockey.
In
Or like
fairness,
my favorite are the just sports where it's like 8 of them. Where it's just
Yeah.
like
A
sport.
tennis
do that.
ball, a golf club,
Yep.
in fairness,
tennis racket.
Lacrosse stick.
the
Oh, even
plain
better.
white tees that I wear,
Terrible
great
band.
band name.
Awful band.
I'm not saying the band was good. I just go with the name. The plain white tees I wear are the undershirts I wear when I wear like polos and stuff for work. And Wednesdays are a lot of times I have Zooms and stuff like that where I have to look presentable. I obviously didn't today, which is why I'm bearded out.
Well, listen, Delilah, I think you look great.
Hey, Delilah, what's it
That
like
wasn't a
in New
cue
York
to
City?
sing. That's a
1,000
terrible
miles
song.
away.
When has he
Tonight
needed to
you
take
look
a
so
cue to
pretty.
sing?
Oh, he just took a cue.
Hey
Literally.
there, Delilah. What's it like at home?
Yeah. Oh,
You Jody Brody.
you guys do know though why I don't go to a sports clips or anything like that before, right? I had to have told you this story. I don't know if I've told it here.
You did. It got the worst haircut you ever got.
They literally, like, you can't see it if you're not looking at the feed here, but they took the buzzer and just took like my sideburn straight off. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" She was
Also,
like,
let's be clear. If
Yeah.
you're not watching this, and at the end of the show, we'll be like, "We appreciate you listening in audio form." I don't.
"Who? Kate,
Watch
can you just
in video form.
can you remind the people if you're not watching in video form, who don't you support?"
You don't support women.
That's right. You don't. You don't support women. Can I also mention, before we get rolling here, because I do want to jump into wrestling. We got a lot to talk about.
Wait, I also have something I need to say.
Okay,
up front,
go ahead.
But you,
Go ahead.
no, you go first.
No. Because my thing. Go ahead. It's show related. Go ahead.
Matt of the Shining Wizards and
That was-
formerly of this show.
Mm-hmm. That was actually going to be 2 points I brought up. Go ahead.
Formerly of the Mark Order podcast, nay, the founder, the conceptualizer.
Well, let's pump the brakes there. I think it was there were 3 founders,
No, but it
2 of
makes
them are
my
still.
rant better.
That's fine, but we're not followers, Kate. We're also leaders and founders, okay?
Well,
You
we've
and
had
I-
to step up.
Founder.
Because
We're tri-founders.
I find out, not from Matt, I
Mhm.
find out from a tweet on my own timeline that Jeremy at Fight Club and Joel at Fight Club are having Matt on to talk New Dominion. I work with all 3 of these goons. Not a single one of them tells me. Oh,
And
he's
then-
going to be on at 11:20. And then Ryan's in the chat, and he has moderator privileges, and I don't. So I'm all piss and vinegar. But I'm excited to watch Matt talk some New Japan. I'm excited to watch Jeremy rib Matt about Tanahashi's hair.
Wait,
Great
who was the
little interview.
moderator?
Ryan has mod
For who?
for like
Fightful
the Fightful Overbook channel.
Oh,
I'm not.
That's too
But
much
Ryan is.
responsibility.
So then, Matt, who I thought had a part-time contract with us. Okay. I understand he's full-time there, but this is how wrestling podcasting is right now. Other than WWE podcasts, it's open. Okay.
Just so you know, Kate.
Independent contractors.
No. Kate, he's never going to hear this because he does not listen. So
this isn't
feel
for
free.
him. This
Just feel
isn't
free
for
to
fucking Matt. This is for me.
All I'm saying is feel free to speak freely. Don't curb your feelings.
Oh, I'm hot under the collar about this. Okay.
Some
I
would
tune in
say
to
white
support
girl
my
hot.
friends. White girl hot. And a hot white girl. All right.
Mm.
Unlike Matt, I support my friends. Okay. I tuned into his appearance. Great time. They're having a great time. They're yucking it up. Matt's giving great insights. They're having fun. They're talking some G1. They're talking Dominion. Matt, plug your stuff. Tell the people where they can find you. Oh, the Wizards Podcast every Monday night. Follow us on Wizards Podcast on Twitter. And right here on Fightful Overbooked with Kieran talking all things New Japan on the Bread Club. And that son of a bitch had the nerve. He was like, every other Tuesday or Wednesday. So it's not like Wednesday was a day of the week that wasn't on his mind. He said the word Wednesday.
If I may.
Oh, we're out of time. Nope, not a plug for the Mark Order. Not a mention of any other show on the Shining Wizards Network, which we play the Kevin Rogue commercial block for. Okay? And we never gave him shit. He just left the Mark Order, returns on a part-time basis. We didn't jump him out. He got the Switchblade Jay White treatment where he kind of just left. Nobody jumped him out.
Are you sure it
We
was
were
the
just
switch
Finley
Jay
and he
White
just
treatment?
took over.
You sure it was that treatment and not the switch comb?
Oh,
Jay White
finally
treatment?
committed.
Getting good, my man.
He finally Amazon ordered one. He
He
overnighted
did.
it.
He is grooming that sports clip hairdo. You know what happens when I go on a show and I do 500 fucking podcasts a week?
You don't plug this?
I plug this every time.
All right.
Fightful main channel on fucking Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Fightful Select on Mondays, and every Wednesday talking all things all elite at the Mark Order podcast. You know what Matt does? Oh, guess we're out of time.
So, Kate, are you saying that Ant should knife him and then I should comb his hair?
There is literally no other conclusion someone could draw from what I said. That's exactly what should happen. I want to jump him out, and I want David Finlay to beat his ass. That's what I want. And Clark Connors.
Should we jump him out, or should we have a beat it dance fight?
I don't understand why those are mutually exclusive.
Okay. Okay.
We start with the dance fight. Lowers his guard, thinking, "Oh, they were just doing a dance fight," and then bam, over the top.
Jump him out.
And then his hair's getting combed.
Yeah, we'll at least make him look good afterwards. Okay. Now
I'll came in the classic box. They all come in. I was so happy. I haven't seen that since I was a kid.
I'm all fired up right now. Ryan's got his switch comb. You guys have played.
This is my toy for the night.
A switch flipped on my mood. I came in here. I was all excited about CM Punk and Zack Sabre Jr. And then I thought about what Matt did to us earlier today, hours ago. Snubbed.
He buried us without saying a word.
Now,
we were in the fucking chat.
Can I play devil's advocate?
No.
Okay.
Be careful.
Ryan, I can defend myself, thank you.
I need a switch of something. Oh, I should just get a branch.
Or just a light switch and just hold it up and flip it. Just go to like Home Depot or Lowe's and buy a switch.
I want a switch.
I just real quick before you play devil's advocate, Ant, I want to stress one point. I'm going to play with this so much tonight, it's going to be broken before next stream.
And if you have something broken and you need to play with it a lot, you could use Blue Chew.
We don't. They don't sponsor us, Kate.
I know, but I was
wasted segue.
No, don't listen. If you bring Blue Chew into this, you can make as many references as you want, and we'll do as many reads exactly the way they're written, so that we continue to get sponsored. Unlike old ads we were supposed to read, that in the middle we've got people saying, "Oh, what the fuck? It doesn't even fucking work." And I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Or that your pubic hair looks like Carlito in a headlock. That's
right.
Well, I
mean, that's topical.
But the thing about Blue Chew is that it uses the same active ingredients as Niagara.
Nope.
You know?
No.
It comes in discreet packaging.
No. I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Sure, Satan.
Thank you. I guess since Matt is I guess some would say part-timer here.
Was.
Well, there you go. I guess it wouldn't be first on his brain to plug it because he's not a regular.
We were in the fucking chat. I super chatted, for God's sake.
Why would you do that?
Because I wanted Matt to rank wrestling hair really bad.
Which did actually lead to a funny conversation about wrestling hair.
It did.
But did he do it?
Yeah. They were mostly going with good hair.
All right.
But they ribbed him about Tanahashi and his air guitar pretty good for a while.
Okay, well, that's good.
It was fun.
Now, as you mentioned plugs, that sort of segues into my next thing. I was texting you guys earlier today because I feel like we're sort of getting punked, but I can't tell if we are or are not. Because I shit you not, you two and anybody listening right now, I hope you've gotten your requests in for stickers because they're a hot fucking item right now. I don't know what happened or who plugged us or somebody shared it with. No, it definitely wasn't Matt. Or somebody decided to tell 80,000 of their friends. But in the last, I would say, week, we've gotten a number of sticker requests in. Today alone, I sent 5 out in the mail. And then during the day, we got another 3 or 4 in our inbox.
Oh my gosh.
One of them to Italy.
Really?
My paisans must have
Hold on
caught
a
on
second.
eventually. So I don't know what's going on out there, but we're kind of a big deal.
We're a really big deal. I guess maybe we cut our dead
And,
weight with Matt Bowman.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But don't tell him some of the episodes he were on were some of the biggest listens and plays that we've gone. You can go back to the archives and listen and see him when he was a part
That's
of it.
just because he had his titties out.
Actually, you want to know the one, this is not a rib. The episode, for some reason, that has the most amount of plays in podcast audio form, I don't know about video, but in audio form, is White Castle Post Office.
That was a weird one.
White Castle Post Office.
It wasn't even headless head and nipples Kate Dream.
No, this was White
CM
Castle
Punk.
CM Punk at the post office episode.
Yeah.
Was that the one where
It
I went
still
on
was a
that
dream.
extensive women's rant?
I mean, you do that every fucking episode.
Yeah, but there was one time I went on a rant and I got like 20,000 views because I was out of my mind.
Well, we don't have that many plays on it, but it's still every week I'm like, this will be the one, and it's not. It's not. White Castle Post Office is still the top in podcast form.
The baby.
Anyway,
I got the stickers out there though. I told you in this in text, and I firmly believe it. It was our clever eye patch gimmick.
you very well could be right. That must have made its way around the internet, the interwebs.
I'm pretty
the
sure I
channel.
clipped it. So maybe.
Well,
maybe you
either
guys are over with the
with the
Adam
pirate crowd.
Page- well, with the Adam Page fans from their saddle leather eye patch Adam Page thing. Remember?
Well,
That's how it started.
I do. All I know is that
Get your stickers before they run out.
get your
people.
fucking stickers. We'll let you know in a little bit how you can get your stickers.
So happy.
I know.
Ryan, why are you poking his penis?
No, don't.
Don't touch it. That's not consensual, Ryan.
That's assault, brother.
That is. Somebody
Wiggle.
Somebody
Yeah.
report Ryan. Somebody
Yeah,
get
please
that
do.
guy's mod
Try
shit
take me.
taken away
Try
from
take
him.
me. Try take me.
I would
I'll
not.
comb you to death.
I would say Zack Sabre Jr. is not the guy you want to fuck with. I'd
Who's the guy you
say-
do want to fuck with?
I'm just saying, not somebody that can choke you out real fast.
But Kenny.
Yeah,
Ryan, I
I
just
watched a lot of his matches. I'm pretty confident he could.
yeah.
Yeah, but I'd have to let him then.
Oh, 2 things.
And
Ryan,
not
I'll watch.
comb his hair.
Ryan, Asian Joe
Yes?
would like to know, show me on the Zack Sabre Jr. where Ryan touched you.
Wrong hand.
Wrong way. Oh no. Also, I want to say
Move on as soon as possible. That would be great for me. Thanks.
Rob Humphrey makes a good point too. If you really want to push those numbers, Ryan, you're gonna have to take that shirt off.
Over my combed, haired body.
Pasties, Ryan. Use pasties.
I would even just say cleavage. Just tasteful cleavage to start. Yeah.
Ooh.
For starters. Next
Got
week
that
maybe
chest
it's a V-neck like wraparound situation. It's just a little bit more.
Kate, you're gonna have to thirst trap during the summer and use some stickers.
Why?
We gotta push the numbers.
Kate, if you want, I'll just Photoshop you onto someone and then Photoshop the stickers onto them.
You thirst trapped on a cruise.
It was just kind of a picture of me in a bathing suit, though. It wasn't like a.
It's thirst trappy enough. Your feet were in
fairness,
it, I think.
In
Well,
fairness,
that's
Aunt,
mistake
the
number
plan
one.
was this past year I had a thong ready to go, and we were going to thirst trap the hell out of it, but we didn't get to land on the island.
That's a problem.
I mean, we need some thirst traps. We need to sex sells, okay? So
I don't see you showing your titties out here.
it's not my job. My job is to
Say that again.
conceptualize. Ryan? You mess with the bull, you're gonna get the horns.
Yeah, but I'll be combed properly.
All right.
Comb.
None of-
By the way, maybe it's just because we have a really good salesman on our side. SJ was talking to people at a cabin about us, which is really nice. Thank you, SJ. That's actually
That
really
is.
lovely.
Thank you. I know. Was Val one of the people who put in a request this past week?
Let me double check. Oh, I closed my list. Hold on. I will double check. You guys vamp while I check the list.
It's okay. How cool do I look with
Well,
my comb?
I will tell you that if you do want those stickers, you can
No,
go
no,
to
no,
our
not
link
yet.
tree
No,
and any
not
of
yet.
our social media. You told me to vamp. This is the perfect moment
That's not
for
a good
that.
vamp. Yes, Val did request some stickers.
She's an extremely delightful human being and was very kind in sharing the information about our stickers. So thank you, Val.
Well,
Hey,
maybe
Val,
that was
Val
it.
rules.
Val's
Val,
awesome.
we had a request in from Val, a request in from from Eddie.
Eddie Kingston wants our
No.
stickers?
Well, maybe.
I would laugh my ass off if it was Eddie K in New York.
No, it wasn't. It was like the complete opposite.
Eddie Patna Kingston.
Eddie Partner.
My man!
Steven,
Redeem
Jackie,
these stickers.
Robin, Zoe. We also got a request where the person did not include any address information, so I emailed them and I hope they get back to me.
Maybe they are in jail.
I don't know about that.
Cell block B.
Cell block B for okay. Well, guys, we
Wait,
should.
before this is wrestling
Oh,
related.
boy.
And
Go ahead.
No, it is. It's 100% wrestling related. But I will forget it.
You
if I
guys
don't
wonder
talk
why it
about
takes
now.
3 hours, right?
No. This is
You guys
AEW wrestling related.
I don't really wonder.
And
I know what we're doing out here now.
Yeah.
I've accepted it.
Uh-huh.
And I'll forget it if I don't talk about it now. Did you see how the uproar over the Eddie Kingston in Fight Forever? And
Yes.
then they came out later and like, oh yeah, guys, this was like an early concept. And now he looks normal.
Yes. It was
Kind of why you should wait for the game to be out.
Yeah, but the problem was the figure was really bad too. Like that
Oh, yeah,
figure
that
does
was
not look
bad.
like him. So I think people were like, did he just not get a new scan or something?
Which figure? The new one they just
yeah, it's not great. It's not
well-
an ugly looking figure, it just doesn't look like him. And it's a Walmart exclusive, and I hate that I know that.
Well, then I guess you're not going to get another Christmas gift, Kate. There you go.
There's some returning talent who I would be interested in getting a figure from.
No, that's not happening.
Miro?
Actually, yeah.
Scorpio Sky.
I'll take a Scorpio Sky. If you give me a free figure, unless it's like Tyrus or some bullshit, I'll just
People,
play it.
if you give me enough free figures, I will start a figure fed and record it and do the everything.
Ryan wants toys. I gave him one and now he wants more.
Fully admitting that. I've literally just stated that.
If you would like to send Ryan anything, slide into our DMs and he'll decide whether he's brave enough to give you his home address.
Nope, Ryan would be getting a P.O. box.
Quick recap.
I told you guys I wanted to get a P.O. box for the show, and everybody was like, why? There's no need, blah, blah, blah. But now I think we should.
We
Listen.
definitely should, because Agent Joe's the only person that I gave my address to that I would feel comfortable doing that to.
Me too. And also, I just want a P.O. box, and
Yeah,
I'm gonna get a
okay.
little stamp made, so anytime I send stickers out, I could put Mark Order Podcast with our P.O.
That's
box and our logo.
That's really
And
funny.
you could sing the Stick Stickly song.
What
P.O.
is this?
box. I guess that's New York City.
Sure.
New
When I
Jersey.
sing Scruff McGruff, it's weird, but Kate's singing Stick Stickly's fun.
And she doesn't even know the whole song.
10108.
She just knows the
New
zip
York
code.
City, New York State, 10108.
Rob, it was when you were a kid and you had wrestling figures and you made up your own wrestling fed.
Wait a minute. You got to do this right by radio, Ryan. Rob Humphrey asked, what is a figure fed? Do I even want to know?
I am not encouraging people to listen podcasts. I'm driving them to the YouTube to see the question.
But you still have to read it. What if somebody's not looking at the video? We're just playing in the background.
Don't dare.
I think we probably lost viewers when you started inappropriately touching Zack Sabre Jr. But
Yeah.
Eric Freeds did ask, why does Ryan have a switchblade? Isn't that Ant's gimmick?
Yeah.
So to recap.
It's a switch comb.
Well, it's
Say
still,
what?
I still take umbrage with it. Kate, do I have a claim to be wrong here or to be mad here?
I have to think it through.
You know what?
I submit I could go into the archives and find Ant actually telling me to get this.
Yeah,
That's
but
where
not
I'm a
while
little
I'm
bit hung
here.
up.
Not while I'm here.
I also just feel like if he's going into a knife fight with a comb, like you're still in the clear. You know what I mean? Like Mark Order Gold could be you too.
No, I don't. I'm not going in with switch comb.
Dude,
That
they'll be
can't
so
be-
confused they won't know what to do.
They'll be like,
I
"You
feel
gonna
like
comb
it's
my
not.
pubes?
I don't know
What
if
is
it's
it?"
gimmick infringement or if it's like
Parody?
like parody. Yeah, that's what I'm struggling with.
Matt Reichel says, Collision in Newark, I'll be attending. So will we. Maybe not
Hell
Ryan,
yeah.
because he doesn't ever leave the house. He's getting mad and holding up his comb threateningly. And
It's like
Eric
doing that
Freed's,
a lot.
unfortunately, no. Wrong one. Eric Freed's no. Auntie, you still give phone calls if we buy shirts. I don't, because I couldn't get the Google phone number working, and I don't want to give my phone number out.
No,
So
do not do that.
if I can get the issue is the fact that our show address is tied to my personal address, and everything I do, it's like, which account? And then anytime I try to switch something, it fucks everything up. So no.
You could
All
have just
right.
done it to the Mark Order.
That's what I'm talking about. I did. And then it kept fucking up anything to do with mine, because they're sort of linked together, because I had to create both of them. Anyway.
Okay. Double or nothing.
I do like this though. Kyle K. Spark says Mark Order Gold will be like if Matt and I did a show. One guy who is there but isn't anymore, and one who no one's sure if he belongs, and no one knows if it actually connects to the real group. Good point.
Shout out to Kyle K. Sparks for working a fucking marathon Ring of Honor episode with me last week. 19 matches, and he sat in. God bless him.
Well, 19 matches. It's almost
Zero with
as
titles.
good as 20.
0 title defenses.
Almost as good. All right. Why don't we talk about Double or Nothing? Now, we'll run through the results. We're not going through every single fucking move of the match, but we'll stop and talk about things we need to talk about. And then we'll also, sort of give a wrap up to Double or Nothing. And also a couple things we'll stop on, little news and notes, things that came out about the show. We'll talk media scrum maybe a little bit later. But first match of the night, we had the Hardys and Hook defeating the Guns and Ethan Page on the buy-in. We thought that was, in retrospect, Ryan had brought up, it's for the contract. We all thought, well, there's no way that Ethan Page is going to have his contract taken by the faces. And this is absolutely where Scorpio Sky has to show up and reinsert himself. None of that happens. And the fucking contract goes back to the Hardys for Ethan Page. I did, though, find it fun that I think it was on Twitter today, or maybe it was yesterday, where Ethan Page put up a picture of him in one of a Brother Zay shirts, and he's like, Matt wanted me to tell you that you can find this new Brother Zay shirt in the shop AEW. Like, there you go. Like, just begrudgingly doing it.
Very matter of fact.
Yes. So, I don't know. Anybody want to give any thoughts here? I was just surprised that it didn't go the way we thought it was going to, with all the steps on the line.
I'll just say that my Fight Club co-host came up with this logic, and I liked it. That could be a really good device to get Ethan Page in ROH or Collision. Like Matt Hardy's like, yeah, I won your contract, and guess what? You're not working with me. You're going over here or whatever. Like it could be a way to assign him to a brand being in control of his contract, which I thought was a clever idea, if that's where they're going to go with it, of just like, this is how you're going to be. Go over, get out of here, get away from us. It could be a fun way to be in control, but not be on the same program necessarily.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they play it out, just because it's kind of like, where do we go from here? It's just the opposite of the story they just played out, and they deleted the firm, and it's like, I thought it was over, but we'll see. It's going to be fun. It'll be stupid fun. And Ethan Page will hate his life, and that makes it more fun. Schlong, did you have anything you wanted to add? I feel like I cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, we're good.
Okay. Getting into the main card, I don't think to anybody's surprise, Orange Cassidy retained his international title in the Blackjack Battle Royal. That also set up a storyline for one of those that we got tonight, not involving Orange Cassidy, but it did set up a story for a match we got tonight, which could set up some other fun storylines. I'll say this. I didn't hate this Battle Royal. Again, I just don't know why luchadors are going top rope. But it was fun seeing Commander in there doing all his crazy shit. It was fun seeing the luchadors all sort of back each other. And if memory serves me right, I 100% called the first elimination. Do either one of you remember who the first one eliminated was?
I believe getting word that it was Tony Nese.
It was one of Mr. Anthony Nese.
Noted.
Again. AntMoney 1, Mrs. Money 0. Mine's a champ.
Question.
Yes.
This was one of the first couple of matches I was watching on my phone because of the barbecue situation. Did Commander eliminate himself?
No, I don't believe he ever got into the ring before he did the top rope spot.
Okay. I saw him do that spot. I'm like, that's really, really dumb. And then I heard you say that Tony Nese was the first eliminated. I was watching, but I was losing track.
Oh, yeah. He wasn't in the ring yet. I know what spot you're talking about.
Yeah. Where he walked the rope. Yep.
This was very medium to me. I hate battle royals where everybody starts in the ring at the same time because there's inevitably a bunch of people. Yeah, I like rumbles better. I just don't. There's just no reason anybody would enter the ring until everybody else was done fighting. I like the way it advanced a lot of the stories, and I loved the ending, but a lot of the body of it was like not for me for kind of the reasons that Ant said. I think Swerve is great. If he's the one to dethrone Orange Cassidy, that's a great move. But I loved the ending with Orange Cassidy just kicking his hand off the rope and him falling like a Looney Tune trying to grab the rope back was fantastic. Mm-hmm. Kudos to him for a Shawn Michael-esque desire to not let go of the rope. Like there's nobody who wanted back in a Rumble match like Shawn Michaels, and there's nobody that wanted to let go of that rope less than Swerve. I don't love what that does to the Keith Lee story. That's either not getting blown off or will unnecessarily be for a title probably, but or cost him the title when this was something that was so personal to begin with. But Swerve is an incredible person to have a belt on because he can do so much great work with so many guys. And there's a lot of fun to be had. So if that's where they choose to go with it, cool. If it was just a fun ending to set up a feud, great. I really, really liked the ending. The middle of it was fine. Like nothing major for me, but I so prefer a Rumble to a Battle Royale.
It's because you're a corporate shill.
Far from.
I will say this though. Some of the fun things that came out of it too, like we got it led into the three-way match tonight, which we'll talk about. But also both of the best friends, Sexy Chucky T and Trent, both of them sacrificed themselves for Orange Cassidy. And they could have used that to go sort of either way, right? Like it looked like Chucky certainly sacrificed himself. But like Trent maybe like in the moment when that happened, it almost looked like Orange Cassidy let Trent get eliminated. You know what I mean? So I felt like, oh, are they going to somehow split this up?
But I'll tell you what.
Yo.
I would make that sacrifice for you.
Oh, thank you.
Both of you? Wouldn't do it for Matt
I would
anymore.
not.
Wouldn't do it for Matt anymore.
Well,
You don't plug our shit? I'm out.
Ryan is heartless. I like it.
I'm the Orange Cassidy. I expect people to sacrifice for me.
Yeah.
You wish. Okay, you wish you had the style of an Orange Cassidy.
Listen, if there's one style that I have, it's sloth style.
But not
I
the
meant
braids.
like the jacket. You got to get a Canadian
Wait.
tuxedo.
I'm sorry. He wears plain white t-shirts,
No,
Not
he wears-
anymore.
glasses.
Sunglasses.
I have
What
sunglasses.
is he known for though? Let's be real.
His
Denim jacket,
Mm-hmm.
go by.
ties disguised as jeans.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, if I could pull that off, I absolutely wear that out regularly.
You can pull it off.
Nah, my ass is too nice.
Ryan, if we outfit you with a Canadian tuxedo next time we go to a show, will you wear it?
No. So
God, he's no fun. You've seen the things I wear, right?
yeah,
And I make it look good.
Yes, you do.
You will kill a Canadian tuxedo.
Let me think. No,
No fun.
I liked the sacrificing spots. I don't want them to break up. I like the best friends being the best friends and best buddies. I don't like the way they're treating the best friends, though. I think they deserve more respect in this goddamn tag division.
Yes, they
Like-
should be contenders for the title.
Yeah, they
More
lost
so
to
than,
Big
say,
Bill
Jeff Jarrett.
and
Lee.
Lee Moriarty, and like they're just no. They deserve god dang respect.
I'm
God dang.
hoping if Orange Cassidy drops to Swerve, they're gonna go in the trios division because them versus House of Black could be really, really, really fun. Like Bud Matthews and Orange Cassidy across the ring from each other. Yes, please. Like
Mhm.
let's go because we saw that and it was great. So give me it in a trios match. Bang-a-lang.
Okay. Moving on, we had Adam Cole defeat Chris Jericho in their unsanctioned match. We saw some shenanigans during the match. We saw involvement from, Britt Baker and Saraya. But
Okay, I don't want to slow the pace of the show down. We got a lot
You
to
are?
get through.
go ahead.
SJ said that would be amazing if he did LOL, the Canadian jacket. So Ryan, will you do the Canadian jacket or do you not support women?
This is also a good point. A good point raised by Asian Joe. This is a guy who wears lace gloves for a funeral, a hat and robe to be the captain, and other props for character work.
Oh.
Won't wear a Canadian tuxedo.
Ryan's the captain?
No,
Allegedly,
no, it's not true.
he's cosplayed.
No, you know what? That's true. I have cosplayed as him separately, but on the show, it's been the captain. Here's the difference.
Oh God!
When out, have you ever seen me wearing anything remotely like that?
It doesn't matter, Ryan. We
to
get
me.
noticed now, Ryan. I got noticed out of all of us. Noticed.
It's not about getting
DC.
noticed. It's about supporting women.
You know,
Support women,
Support
get
women,
noticed,
Ryan.
plug the fucking product, and
I
wear
am
the
a
goddamn
1950s
tuxedo.
misogynist. No.
Ryan, what if I got you a Canadian tuxedo and we sewed a motherfucking back patch with our logo on the jacket?
I can guarantee you'll look wonderful in it.
Well, because Aunt supports women. Thank you for being a feminist.
You're welcome. I love women.
Like I said, 1950s misogynist right here, guys. Right here.
Kate, we're gonna have a founders only meeting
That's fine.
and possibly talk about another jump out.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I'm not gonna say who, but founders only will have to
Hey, Kate?
discuss.
We'll have to discuss.
Kate. It's a
Mhm.
wonderful haircut. Be a shame if somebody combed it to look bad.
I think you can comb it to look bad.
That's what I know.
I could do it. I could absolutely do it.
So Adam Cole defeats Jericho by referee stoppage.
Awful.
I mean, he pummeled him. And then after the match, eventually at some point in the show, Jericho and Saraya are pissed and challenge Adam Cole and Britt Baker to a mixed tag match that we got tonight. And what I loved most about that was the reemergence of a fucking wizard, Jericho, burning the face off of poor some chump security play actor. Not gonna lie, didn't love this match. You know, you have certain expectations for a lights out match, or a no unsanctioned match. I understand why a referee has to be there, but at the same time, it's unsanctioned. So, like, a referee doesn't have to be there to make sure people are being safe. You're not liable. You know what I mean? Like, just
Nor do
count
you
the
really have
fucking
to
pin.
sign a contract.
Well, they just signed the fact that AEW won't be held liable.
I'm kind of curious what Zack Sabre Jr.'s thoughts are on this, but he looks like he's in the middle
He's
of
busy.
it. Yeah, he's got an ankle lock on. This was just bad, and I didn't know you could have a bad match with Adam Cole or Jericho, never mind together. Sabu was a fucking awful choice. And I have to say this because now it's been eating away at me, and I had this thought and I was gonna let it go, and then other people brought this up, and I'm not gonna mention who because they didn't want Twitter discourse, and I understand it. Warner would not let Jay Briscoe on their television after a decade had passed between comments that he had apologized for authentically after people came out as allies in the gay community saying, like, no, this guy's changed, to the point where they couldn't promote their match with FTR at ROH. And fucking Sabu's wrinkly 70-something-year-old ass, who has said racist remarks, doubled down on them and continues to use racist remarks, is allowed to appear on AEW programming. They wouldn't let a Jay Briscoe fucking tribute show happen. And Sabu is taking a fucking table spot for what reason? Garbage. I'm sorry. Shitty double standard. You had Mike Tyson on. He's convicted of rape. Like, it ate me up to no end. It really fucking pissed me off that they couldn't pay tribute to fucking Jay Briscoe. Not a tribute show to someone who had passed, but Sabu's wrinkly old ass is talked about on AEW Dynamite. I know this was technically a pay-per-view, but, like, come on. Jay Briscoe wasn't appearing on an AEW pay-per-view after either. That fucking pisses me off. Nice of you to support women. Do you also have jeans on? Because a Canadian tuxedo is 2 parts.
I do not. But see,
He doesn't have pants on, Kate. He's Winnie the Pooh.
But I gotta take the jacket off for a second. One, because it doesn't fit.
No, it
2,
fits like a fucking glove. Oh,
that's
man.
so fucking rad.
Ryan, you have to wear that to the next event.
It legitimately does not fit. I got that when I was a kid.
Brian,
One of my dad's friends
Just
was an
stop talking.
anchor for Turner Networks.
Stop talking. Put it on. I want to see you model it.
It's real. It's like,
You should have just said you were in WCW.
Put it on. There we go. Now take a step back from the camera so we can see it once it's on. I mean, Kate, that fucking fits.
It fits great.
The sleeves are fine. It's a jacket.
It's a jacket from the 90s, which means the sleeves are supposed to end there.
Yeah, if they were,
your shoulder lines are good. That's the measure of the fit, is where your shoulder line is.
If those sleeves were to your wrist, I would demand you roll them up.
it makes me wonder how big this was on me as a kid.
Way too big.
It doesn't quite go to my waist, guys.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It looks fantastic.
I went and found this.
I respect it.
Respected. I found Sergio. He's over there. I'm not going to grab him now. Maybe at the break.
No, that's good. Just say hi to Serge for us.
Oh, I will.
Please.
That's a badass jacket, right?
It is.
It's such a badass jacket. You should wear it with jeans to an event.
Now, I'll say this, just jumping back to this match. I thought Sabu was going to die, so that would have solved all of our problems.
Yeah.
That would have solved all of our problems. But there was no reason for him to be there. It was wasted. It was nostalgia for nostalgia, I guess, but like there was absolutely no reason. It was you're in and you're out. Like it
This
made
also just
no sense.
this had nothing to do with Adam Cole either. And I love Adam Cole. I think he's fantastic at pretty much every aspect of wrestling. These aren't his matches. Like he had one in NXT with Kyle O'Reilly because it was a blow off to one of the biggest things they've ever done at NXT, right? And it like wasn't the best. And it had the emotional heat behind it to make it work. But like Adam Cole's not the biggest dude. And like this is not his style. Like you didn't see Shawn Michaels at a lot of these either for a reason. It's like it just wasn't good. And then you have a 50-year-old on the other side of it. It would have been so much better if it was just a regular match. This was a real waste. And I feel like we'll talk about it, but the tag match that they got tonight was about a million times better. And I didn't even want to see it, but it was significantly better. And fuck Sabu and everything he stands for.
Perfect. Ryan, any takes on the match?
If you want to know how I felt about the match, consider the fact that I was willing to get up while we were discussing it to go find that jacket.
Okay.
And that's Ryan.
I could have waited till break, but I was like, no, this match was just not it. It just, I know what they were going for. It just didn't hit on any of the ways they were trying.
My post-show host said it looked like Sabu and Jericho were playing patty cake with steel chairs.
Yeah, it did.
That's exactly what it looked like.
It did. Kate's low spot of the night. FTR defeats Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal to retain their titles. I'm so sorry. I will say this. I was highly entertained by the ref Aubrey Kabong spot. I did not see that coming. But beyond that, the match was fine. It's FTR, right?
I found the match entertaining.
Yeah.
I liked the ref Aubrey Kamong spot. I liked that Karen Jarrett fell as soon as she did it. She couldn't stay standing on her heels.
Those were heels.
It was a fun match for what it was. It was a good after, like a palate cleanser for the match we had before. Kate, I wasn't with Kate, but I could hear her cheering. Double J, Double J, Double J, Double. So like I was sad for her for that loss, but the match itself was plenty fine. And listen, Kate, tell us why you loved it.
She's really broken up by it. I think we can just keep moving and never touch this one again.
How many things have we, like the spots we've seen Mark Briscoe take? The punishment that man took in the dog collar match alone. This guitar knocked this guy to another fucking planet, I'm supposed to believe. Come on. The shit I've seen Mark Briscoe put his body through and a worked guitar. Knocks Mark Briscoe out till the end of days. I am so fucking sick of seeing every one of these matches be the same. Oh my god, interference. This is just Ric Flair's last match, dialed down a little bit. Move the fuck on.
Well, they clearly did.
We'll talk about it.
Okay, it's been 4 title defenses for Jeff Jarrett since January. Get him the fuck off my screen.
Listen, he is maybe the greatest wrestler ever to be on television. He's better than Hogan, better than Flair, better than Tony Z of the Shining Wizards.
Well,
Mount Rushmore.
No, that's not true. Don't lie to the people.
What?
Well,
Tony
the
Z
Experiment is a legend. I
The
think
Experiment.
you were going into you were saying Bruno Sammartino. He's better.
That's right. I said his Mount Rushmore, Bruno Sammartino, Bruno, and Bruno.
Right.
Did Bruno ever wrestle on TV?
I don't know. Who the fuck cares? Bruno sucked.
He did not suck. Watch the documentary. Respect.
You do 45 minutes of rest holds. I'm sorry. I
What's
don't.
wrong with a rest hold? Zack Sabre Jr. is right there.
He doesn't do them for 45 minutes. If most, it's 10 because
like
he gets a
4
15-minute
seconds,
title
yeah.
defense. All
I
right.
would rather watch Bruno San Martino
Bruno
take
Martino.
a shit
Bruno
than
Martino.
fucking Karen Jarrett on my screen. Move on. The pay-per-view got better after this.
Wardlow defeats Christian Cage in the ladder match. Some odd choices here. Arn Anderson biting off a thumb.
I love that they've just made Arn Anderson this rabid, violent old man.
It was just so weird of all the things he could do. He's like, I'm going to gnaw off part of your thumb. And then the worst part is that you could see the blood capsule residue
Oh my god. Yep.
all over the place.
Yeah, you might have missed that on your phone, Ryan, but
No,
you
I
could
did
just-
that. I
yeah.
actually got to see this one
Pretty
on the
bad.
big thing. This is one of the first ones I did, and I listen. I loved it for how just hokey it was, but someone should have tested the blood capsule. I've been like, what are we really getting out of this?
It was pretty
Kate,
hokey. I can't lie.
I said it for you. I did you a favor.
Mhm.
How often do I actually use that word? But someone should have tested it and been like, does this blood capsule give out gallons or just a little bit?
I will say the biggest spot of the match going to Wardlow and Luchasaurus was a weird choice, but other than that, I liked it. Like Christian Cage was just hanging out there for like 10 minutes while Wardlow climbed a ladder and took out Luchasaurus kind of unnecessarily. But other than that, I liked it. Wardlow is a monster. He deserves a real title reign. I'm sure this is leading to Luchasaurus and Wardlow, which should be fun because Luchasaurus can do some good stuff in the ring. Like he's overall not for me, but like he can do a shooting star press, which is just silly. So this is when it started to turn the tide, but it was a distractingly odd spot to do this. But I love this Christian run. I love his gear being the mock turtleneck sleeve. It's so fucking good. Like what a selfless wrestler Christian is. Like everything he does is to better his opponent or a story. Like what a guy, what a dude.
I will say this, that just cements the fact that now I believe every time Christian Cage comes out to speak with his jacket on over the turtleneck, it's just basically the sleeveless turtleneck. He's always ready. He's not.
Yeah, like when he's got a jacket on.
Yeah,
it's still sleeveless underneath.
Oh
Probably.
yeah,
if he has to go, he goes.
That's right.
Brilliant.
Also, I love the fact that we got the GIF out of this match of Christian rising up from the other side of the ring. What a great GIF that
He's
was.
So good, man.
So fun. Just a perfect TV spot. All right, moving on to I'll say disappointing because we thought that this match had a ton of potential, but clearly, it wasn't able to happen the way they wanted it to happen. Toni Storm defeats Jamie Hayter in what was a shock of the night to a lot of people because nobody was 100% sure on what Toni Storm's sort of injury status was. So the way they get there is that she gets jumped before she even gets out to the ring, and then she's basically, left for
Jamie
the
Hayter.
pickings. Jamie Hayter, sorry. Did I say Toni Storm? My apologies.
And I just didn't want to I was
Nope.
letting it go, and then you kept going. I didn't want anyone to get confused.
Nope, my apologies. So yes, Jamie Hayter gets jumped, and then she's there just, bones for the picking, right? But they're actually able to get a little bit of a match in, and she tries to fight back, but it's not going to happen. It did come out that Jamie Hayter is dealing with a legitimate back issue, and that she did receive a lot of praise backstage for basically gutting it out through the injury to drop the title in an appropriate way to Toni Storm. And I think it was a good way to do it because she still protected, right? She didn't lose it clean. She had to get jumped by two other people in order for Toni Storm to take it off of her. It just
sucks.
I don't know. Yes, it does suck because Jamie Hayter's hurt. But do you think if you're Toni Storm, you also feel that this sucks because at this point you are now 2-time second fiddle champion? You know what I mean? Like, she was interim champion because Thunder Rosa was hurt, and then they wouldn't take the fucking interim off of her. And now Jamie Hayter's hurt, so they strap it back on Toni Storm. At the very least, she's not an interim champion. She's an actual champion. I unplugged my mic so I can't, or I unplugged my headphones so I can't hear anything. So I'm just going to keep talking. But I will say this. I didn't mind the way it played out. I do want to see when Jamie Hayter is 100%. I do want to see this match again.
Yeah.
But I didn't mind this just because of the way they did it.
It hurts. Of all the overbooked nonsense on this card, this one had the most reason. Like, this had to be this, right? It couldn't be anything else.
Yeah.
To your point about Jamie Hayter, I don't think... I think two things. In real life, that means they put a tremendous amount of trust in you, honestly. That, like, you are well-rounded enough in every facet of this that you can handle the unexpected. And the other thing is, this title reign is a completely different division, in my opinion, than what we were dealing with before, and a much bigger story. And it's also very possible that she loses it back to Jamie Hayter at Wembley if she's ready to go, which is going to just be the most incredible moment. I mean, like,
Right.
World title match, probably a co-main event in front of 75,000 to 90,000 people at that point. Like, there's no part of that I think will feel second fiddle. And it's kind of good because it's in a story that's already involved the two of them. So she might be a title holder through a blood and guts and that moment at Wembley. I mean, that's a huge deal, realistically. Like, but I think she deserves it. She's such a good... She's incredibly reliable and incredibly sound at a lot of things. Like, she knew exactly how to navigate that match. In the press conference, she was talking about slapping Jade's tits off. Like, I was cracking up. Like, she gets how to do every aspect of this business. And it also just makes me laugh that a week to the day before, she punched Fred Rosser in the dick in New Japan and then showed up and won the world title. I'm like, what a week for that gal. Like, low blowing a dude over her man and then showing up and winning the title. That's a week. That's a good week in Toni Storm world. But I think it was a really good choice. I don't think you want to do this with Saraya yet. I would have liked to have seen it on Ruby, but there's already such a built-in history with Jamie and Toni. I think it made perfect sense. It just sucks that it had to happen this way.
Schlong, anything you feel you want to add to that?
Nope. Kate covered it well.
All right. House of Black defeats their open challenge team, which wound up being the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass. I don't know. I thought the match was fine. We knew that the Acclaimed weren't going to win. These just sort of went on to the House of Black, and they're just doing these House of Black open challenges, right? Or the house rules. The one thing that I kind of scratched my head about, it's like, they said that we don't need a stipulation to beat you. But it's like, dude, that's how you even up the odds with all their rules. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like just have them do anything. Have them give any sort of minor stipulation. What?
They're cocky, the Acclaimed. They think they're just better.
Still, I just am like, if you're going to put these rules in place and you're going to get this gimmick going, just give any stipulation, anything.
It is like, if you're going to do the lights and everything, like, if you've made it this kind of match, so you owe it the stipulation. If you had just said this was a trios title, like, House of Black could have easily said, we don't know who our opponent is, and that's enough of a wild card. We're not doing it. That works. I'm quoting my co-host here a lot, but he had a really good idea of, like, there's no way that the Acclaim doesn't say something to the effect of Malachi Black can't use the Black Mass. Like, just something small like that. And then you have Bud Matthews get the pin instead or whatever. But, like, it doesn't have to be a dramatic over-the-top thing, but you should have a rule in place, which that I agree with. And at first it didn't bug me. But then when I thought about the fact that, like, it'd be like, this is a ladder match, and then you don't have a ladder. It's like, well, you said it's a certain type of match. You should follow through on a stipulation with that. And because it's such an open stipulation, to choose to not do one, it is kind of weird. But My God, man. Bud Matt and Anthony Bowens. What a highlight reel of a match this was for both of those guys. This was a ton of fun. I love the shine Buddy Matthews is getting, and Bowens is so damn good and carried that trio because Max Caster can go. Billy Gunn mostly did a bunch of famousers at the end and didn't tag in for the first 15 minutes of this. So the Bowens showcase, I'm more than fine with that. Good shit here. This was like, all right, we're picking up some momentum. It took us a while to get into it in this pay-per-view, but I was happy with what we got here.
Yeah, I didn't think it was bad. And I was okay with Billy Gunn, basically not getting until the end. Like, it was totally fine. Like, and they let the young guys, have their time. So it was perfect.
A hot tag.
Yeah. That's it. All right. We get into our TBS championship match. Jade Cargill defeats Tay Valkyrie, and after the match, quite cocky, smart Mark, or maybe not so smart Mark Sterling, is basically saying, we'll beat anyone, anytime, anywhere, any challenger. She's 60-0, and the music hits, and Chris Statlander returns for a match right then and there. And Jade obliges while Mark is saying, no. And Chris Stat returns to defeat Jade. She is the 1-60-1 and the new TBS champion. We do see Chris Stat tonight, so we're going to talk about Chris Stat again in a little bit. But I thought this was a very cool spot. I think we all, said the same thing in our pre-show. If Jade wins, they have to move on and figure out where that is immediately. I didn't think we were going to get a match immediately, but it worked. You're going to be that cocky. You're going to sort of throw that challenge out, and then she's going to come down, and Jade's probably thinking, she hasn't wrestled in however long, so sure, let's do it. And Chris Statlander wins. Now, the word on the street is also that Jade is going to have some time off. That was sort of planned, so that's fine. Let's give Jade a break. We've seen, or maybe not seen a lot of her, but she's had clearly 60 straight wins, so give her a break, cool her down. She'll come back bigger and better and whatever they need to do. But I like the way that this played out.
I am happy that Chris Statlander is the champion. I feel like after 60-0, a story to drop it would have been more productive. But if Jade needs to go away like immediately, and who knows what that woman, like, she very well could be doing stuff in Hollywood tomorrow. Like, she is a phenom of a human being. I think I would have preferred that we get a little bit more of a story if you're gonna end a streak like that. But I'm so happy for Chris. Like, that poor girl has been dealing with injury. She got a huge pop. She's so great in the ring. We'll talk about what she did tonight, but she just deserved every ounce of what she got. So that makes me very happy.
Schlong, why don't you talk about Chris Stat's return? Just because I know you're a big Chris Statlander fan, so I know you have to.
Statlander.
You have to add something here.
Buttlander.
Well, what was that? Buttlander.
Remember Johnny Silver?
Oh yeah, loved it. But I'm torn on this. I mean, I'm thrilled Chris Statlander's champion, and I'm thrilled Jade's going to have a chance to do something else when she comes back, because I do think she had reached that point with the title where it was almost a hindrance. She needs to sink her teeth into something else. Part of me hates it for the reason that Kate said. There's no story, and when you're being the 1-60-1, you should have a story. But part of me loves the moment and loves how logical that kind of plays out, because Jade was getting cockier and cockier, and at the same time they thought no one was left. She had literally run through the roster, so they're like, we can come out and say whatever we want, no one's here. They didn't know Statlander was returning, so like, it was this nice, it kind of did them a favor that no one had broken the news that Statlander was returning, because then you can make even that logical argument. They didn't think anyone would be there. She's feeling cocky. At best, she thinks like, some local talent's going to come out or something. And it was Stat, and her Stat's pop was huge, and she deserves it, and she looked great, and I'm excited, and I'm more curious to see what Jade comes back like. Like, how long is she going for, and does she come back the same heel, or is she now a face? Like, I'm very interested.
Yeah, well, I think that it'll be interesting to see. Some of the people in the chat are saying, Jade comes back face. That was Gordon Post. I got to give you credit, Gordon. And I don't think that's a bad idea. That Jade comes back a face. But we don't know how long she'll be gone. So I like it. We're going to move on to our 4 pillars match, not the main event. I guess they technically co-main evented, right? But you have your 4 pillars match: Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, and MJF. MJF does pull it out here. Now, not the same sort of cheating we've seen out of MJF in the past, where he'll pull out the ring, he'll sort of sneak a punch and then he hides it and gets a quick pin. I loved the wrap up to this. I mean, I love this match, but the finish to this match was absolutely
Phenomenal.
perfect. Taking the belt, laying it down on Jungle Boy while Darby Allin hits the coffin drop to, hit his head on the back, or the back of his head on the belt. And then MJF with the takeover and the pin, exactly what Darby said he was going to do to Max to get Darby. I thought it was just a perfect full circle sort of moment. I like this match a lot. Max is great. I love how these guys came together to sort of fight against Max and then fight against each other. I thought it was a great match, highly entertaining. All of these guys can wrestle. Say what you will about, having a singles match and letting one guy shine. I thought everybody had plenty of time and plenty of spots in this match to show why they're sort of the next crop of stars in AEW. That's my take. You guys might not feel that, but I thought that this was perfectly fine and I enjoyed this.
Yeah, I loved it. I love that they did this. You can do singles matches with everyone. You have one shot to tell this story probably, and this was a good place to do it. I loved the tribute spots to all of their mentors, and I loved that everybody did the move that they won their respective titles with, pretty much. I thought that was a really nice touch with a lot of that. But yeah, I thought this was great. MJF really shined. I loved how much he was mouthing off during this. It was very, very fun. Him in the Hogan colors was great. This was exactly what it should have been. Match of the night for me. I really liked Anarchy in the Arena, but match of the night goes to this for sure. I thought it was excellent. I thought the execution was wonderful. Congrats to Sammy and his prego wife. I just need them to figure out what to do with Sammy Guevara now. Kind of we're hinting at some Jungle Boy heel turner stuff, but it doesn't look like that's the direction they're going based on what we saw
or
tonight.
Are they?
Maybe. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But spoiler alert, we got Jungle Hook back. But I thought this was a whole lot of fun, and it was productive for just about everybody.
Now, Schlong, I want to know what you thought of the match, but also, did you have a problem with this not main eventing the whole show?
Only because the way Anarchy in the Arena plays out, you couldn't have it go on second to last. You couldn't have this be the main event because Anarchy in the Arena destroys the arena, destroys the mat, does a whole lot of damage. It's just, there's no point. I get what people are saying. It match quality wise was the best match. It is for the title, so in a lot of ways it should have been. It purely logistically, I understand why it's not. If you're asking me, ignoring the logistics that I don't have to worry about, yeah, this should have been main event. But I don't have to worry about those logistics. I can just say what I like, and that's about it. Everyone had a chance to shine in this match. The build may have been a little rough here and there. I mean, I liked the build for the most part, but there was a couple bad promos here and there. But this match showcased why these guys were the pillars. All of them can go. Slightly different styles on each. Very different with MJF versus most of them, but everyone does things a little bit differently. Everyone comes out stronger from this match, which is what you want in a match like this. You don't want anyone being left behind. And I don't think anyone was. There were, everyone knew MJF would win, but there was moments for each of them where you're like, okay, this is your star making moment. This is your star making moment. They do have, the only one they have to figure out is Sammy, and I just feel bad because so much of it has nothing to do with his presentation. Some of it is. He's had some bad presentation being part of the JAS for far too long.
Well, and his
Other-
promos just haven't been very good. Like, that's kind of the
That's 'cause-
bummer with it. But I felt like he had the match that he needed to have. I don't know about you, but like I felt like he shined real heavily in that.
Oh, he was amazing. I think he did great. I've always, I mean, we said this last week. His strength should be in the ring. He should be getting over as a face by just having match after match. But part of the promo issue is they're non-organically turning him face. It's kind of like, again, you had him be heel at the start of this with MJF and their best buddies, and that was kind of working. It was kind of funny, and you ended that kind of quickly. And then as soon as that ended, you wanted him to be like pure white bread babyface, and that's not how that transition goes. So they need to, if they're going to do that, I don't often say go the route I say, but the route I say, which is just let him wrestle. The man is so good that that's a heavy sigh.
Typical Ryan.
Typical.
My way or the highway, Ryan.
Someone changed my name, or did I put Cakes?
I didn't change it. I can't change it.
I've only seen Cakes. I didn't know I could change it.
Oh, wow. That is a Freudian slip. I meant takes.
Wow.
You want this cake?
I'll take the cakes, though. And the only reason I just thought about it is like, oh, my hot takes on this wrestling. But yeah, this was great. MJF,
his hot cakes
delivers.
A phenomenal match. If you didn't see it, you should watch it. And the whole show is rounded out by the Blackpool Combat Club defeating the Elite in Anarchy in the Arena. This match had everything you could ask for and all of the goofiness that you would want to see sort of in one match. The exploding Jordan, I don't know if it was a Jordan or an Air Force One, whatever. The exploding shoe was fantastic. I will say this, the live rendition of Wild Thing, it made sense of why they kept playing it. But at the same time, I personally found it very goddamn distracting. I was just like, when is this music going to end? And it kept going. And I was just like, I can't pay attention to what the fuck is happening on the screen because I can't really make out what's going on between the music and the commentary. And there was a lot of people all over the place. Well, part of his face, the rest of it was a mask. Apparently, Mrs. Money looked that up. This singer of whoever that was, the Violent Idols. That's different masks. Like that's his gimmick. Is he wears all sorts of different masks? I don't know. Either way, the band got destroyed. The thumbtacks, the barefoot thumbtack spot.
Too far.
Sorry, you guys froze on my end and I got distracted because both your faces looked like this.
You froze on our end.
Because the barefoot thumbtack spot elicits that reaction.
It seriously, it gets me worse than I think any other spot. Like we've seen a lot of fucked up spots, the stuff in the mouth and like even thumbtacks in the mouth, light tubes, like that stuff doesn't get me to squirm. The fucking thumbtack in the bare foot got me. Like, I don't know if either of you guys ever stepped on a thumbtack in a bare foot. One thumbtack was enough for me. I don't know how the fuck they did it.
It gave me like, when you have a feeling in your chest that ugh.
Yes.
I had that for like 10 minutes. It was just like sitting in my chest. It was so bad.
And the final sort of thing that we were anticipating happening did happen. Don Callis gets up from commentary and hands the screwdriver over. It doesn't happen. And then Takeshita makes the save and costs the Elite the match. So Takeshita is aligned with Don Callis. We don't get any rhyme or reason behind it. We do find out some more tonight, which we will talk about, but it's where it needed to go. Now, I will say this. The video is out there. You can go find it. After the match, after everybody had left, Kenny cut a promo.
By God, Omega.
Kenny, by God, Omega, cut a promo. And he said, it looks like when we thought we were stronger than ever, They still had a bit of a sleeper cell in their ranks. But I can promise you, all you fans who came out here today that came for a good time, don't give up on us. I might not be the most popular guy backstage, but there's a bigger world than AEW. And I've still got at least one or two really good friends that can even up the odds. You guys stay tuned. We're not done. This is not over. And of course, one of the names that are floating out there is clearly Ibushi. This is where we all said this is where we're going to get Ibushi. But Kenny said he's got two friends. And I think that everybody is assuming that it's going to be...
Son.
There you go. Boom. Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. I misread that. Okada.
Same thing.
Okada.
A lesser Marco stunt
Close.
in the ring,
Yeah.
someone might say.
Close, but not really that close. So either way, the story's not done. We have a lot to sort of get to tonight. We do see Blackpool Combat Club again. We do get Don Callis and Takeshita speaking tonight, so we're going to talk about that. But for the match, for what it was, I thought it was good. The ending I thought was perfect, got us to exactly where it needed to go. And continuing this on, the only thing I'll say again, as I said on Saturday, was how do you now level this up? How do you ratchet this up more than Anarchy in the Arena? So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Kate, I'm going to throw a curveball here. Ryan, why don't you tell us what you thought first?
Dun dun dun. The music was very annoying, so I was very happy when the Jackson Super kicked him, which I think was the intent. I think that was the whole point. The exploding shoe spot popped me. I know some people are all bent out of shape about it. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was great. And not to mention, would actually fuck you up. I mean, if nothing else, a flashbang in front of your eyes is quite disorienting. I liked how they let the Elite get... I guess I should say I like the structure of the match, where like the whole center of the match was just the Blackpool Combat Club just obliterating the Elite, which I think you needed. I think if this was back and forth, it doesn't have the same feel. The babyface comeback to the end to then have your heart broken tells a much better story. So yeah, I just really like this whole thing. And Takeshita, when you see him come in and you know it's him, and it's not even like a great reveal, but you're still angry the moment that cloth comes down. You're like, God damn it.
Right.
So good.
Kate, anything you want to add?
It seemed like a lot of people didn't love this, and I think they forgot how fucking kitschy the last one was. Like, what's fun about this is it's kitschy violence. Like, they had the music, like Eddie Kingston, when I fell further in love with him, coming out with the gasoline can, that's clearly kitschy and fun. So I think people need to cool the fuck out about how silly this is supposed to be. And in the spirit of being kitschy and fun, I'm wondering if this does go to a blood and guts match. I was thinking it would only be a women's blood and guts match, but now it kind of feels like just a serious fucking bloodbath between these two, with Takeshita and Ibushi on each other's sides. It could be a really, really fun way to go. Or maybe there's something we're not even thinking of. It could very well go in that direction too.
Eagle fight.
It could be. It could be. Those can get violent. Definitely Ibushi. Really hope not Marty Scurll. Guessing Okada. So we will wait and see. We will wait and see. But I'm excited. I thought it was extremely well done. And then, boy, oh boy, did they get a payoff tonight, which we'll talk about shortly. Because Don Callis got booed.
Yes, he got booed, and that actually, Kate, brings me to like one final. Well, I want us to kind of give like a grade if you had to give this a letter grade, but also I found that the crowd seemed fucking dead most of the night. And I understand there was a lot of shit happening all night, right? You had a ladder match, you had an unsanctioned, you had the 4-way, you had a House of Black open house rules. Like, there was a lot of shit happening, but this crowd seemed dead almost the whole night, which I think gave the illusion that this isn't a good show, but it was, I thought, a good show. Yeah, there was some shit early on and started out sort of slow and things, ratcheted up. But I just think that the crowd seems sort of dead. And I would hope that at some point they think about maybe moving this from city to city where you can get a different crowd. And I'm not saying it's obviously like the same people all the time, but move it around. Vegas is so overstimulated all the time.
I think what you're forgetting, though, is it's called Double or Nothing, which is actually a gambling term.
Well, there are
Did you know
casinos elsewhere. I get it. There's Atlantic
AC,
City.
baby.
Right, but Nevada is the highest grossest gambling state. I don't know if you knew that, but Las Vegas is actually quite known for gambling. I'm not sure if you knew that.
I do.
Okay.
I didn't.
The other thing too is
You're welcome. You're welcome.
The other thing too is a lot of people were saying, "Oh, the building's not full." There are a lot of pictures out there that show the exact opposite, that there were quite a few bodies in that arena. I just think the crowd was dead. I really just don't know. And that's not me just being a homer, by the way. Like, I saw some of the photos, like people were putting up photos of them in their seats and like showing that there are people in the building. Like, it's not a half empty building. They
were also like empty. There were photos that looked empty, but it was where you don't see people because the cameras are in the fucking way. So people were like being opportunistic about attendance, which is as dorky as you can fucking get. Crowd sucked, but the pay-per-view wasn't that good. Like, it took a really long time for this pay-per-view to get going, in my opinion.
What would you give it as a grade, Kate?
It's tough because my expectations for AEW pay-per-views are very high. There's probably like a D plus C minus for me when you consider that, in my opinion, there was only one great match. There were a couple of really good matches and a lot of fine or lesser. So I would probably go like a C minus would be where I put it.
Harsh. Schlong, what would you give?
I'm in the B's. I think if you can get past the beginning, you're in a solid B plus territory. And when I say get past, I mean like don't let that drag down your negative thoughts. But yeah, B plus, somewhere in that range.
That's kind of where I am, again, not being a homer, just because I'm sort of with you, Ryan. Like, once you get past like the first two matches of the main card, and then, even FTR and Jeff Jarrett, that was an entertaining match. Yeah, it's like, do we need to see Karen Jarrett? Do we need to continue to see Jeff Jarrett? It's like, yeah, okay, I get it. But the match was entertaining. And, I know Kate's like, I hate it, but still,
well,
I just,
I was harsh too, because this is probably one of the two worst pay-per-views that they've done. So like in the spectrum, this is lower because there's so many B. Like, saying this is a B when you consider what like their B plus and A minuses are feels like a really wide gap to me. You know what I mean? Like it feels like there's so many. Like, I don't know if there's a more perfect. God, All Out of 2021 and then the Full Gear that followed are both almost perfect pay-per-views. Like, so saying that this is like a B or a B plus when I feel like this doesn't even come close just because the precedent is so high feels
You're grading. I don't grade against the curve, Kate. I don't grade against the curve.
I do, because like I felt like I was more entertained watching Dynamite tonight for 2 hours than pretty much anything outside of the last two matches on the pay-per-view, which to me is indicative that it wasn't that great.
But it also helped that the crowd was way into the show tonight.
Yeah, the crowd sucked. The crowd definitely sucked. But it also, like, the other thing is, with only two, like, I think one great match, which was a 4 Pillars match, and I thought the main event was a whole lot of fun. When the trajectory of your show is slowly inclining, your crowd's not going to be there, because it's not even like, oh, we got this awesome thing in the middle, so now we're like coming down a little bit, but you're going to bring us back up. It's just like this very, it's like being on a roller coaster, just going up, 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 and you never get dropped. Like the crowd was very gradually better because the show got very gradually better.
Anybody think if you restructure this card, this show winds up being better?
There was a lot of overbooking matches back to back. I don't know what you would switch unless you opened with the Chris Statlander moment.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see anything you could move around. I mean, there were also some comments out there. People were hot over the amount of time the women got, but I think that knowing obviously Jamie Hayter wasn't 100%, that's not going to be a long match.
Yeah.
It's not a squash, but it's not a long match. And
if I'm not bitching about it, that means people are actively looking for complaints because there's a reason this time, right? Like I am more than happy to talk about women's screen time, and they probably could have thrown a third women's match on here, but you had so many of your top stars involved in the shortest match there was, right? And then on top of that, like you have some other people that are injured. Like that would be a great, if you needed to throw something together last minute, like Layla Hirsch is the gal, right? Things like that. I truly believe that if Toni Storm and Jamie Hayter were both healthy, that's probably a 12-minute match at least, or a 15-minute match.
Right.
Because they gave it a ton of time the first time around.
Yeah. Well, guys, that concludes our Double or Nothing talk, but we still have... You okay, Kate? Your ears just didn't want to... Kate's ears didn't want to deal with it anymore, so they threw her goddamn headphones out of her ear. So that pretty much wraps up Double or Nothing, but we got to talk about the fallout and everything else this is sort of lining up from Dynamite tonight. So we're going to take a minute. Ryan's going to go press his jacket. I'm going to get another drink. Kate's going to go to the bathroom because she's assuming we're going to throw to a women's match.
Exactly.
And you're going to stay tuned because we're going to play some words from some of the other shows that are part of the Shining Wizards Network that we're part of and proud to be part of. And then we're coming back.
Plug.
That's right. We plug it. And we're going to be back to talk about Dynamite right after this.
To thank each and every one of you for tuning in every Monday night to listen to The Shining Wizards. If you'd like to continue to support us outside of listening, we've got a few ways for you to do that. If you shop at Amazon, go over to amazon.shiningwizards.com, do your shopping as usual, and when you make your purchase, a little bit of that purchase price will go back to support the show. If you like to wear t-shirts, merch.shiningwizards.com will take you to our Pro Wrestling Tees store, where we've got over a dozen great designs from over 11 years of professional wrestling podcasting. You can become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/wizardspodcast, where each and every week we call out your name as one of our show producers, and the more you support us, the more things that you're entitled to receive, and believe me, they are fantastic. If you can't support us monetarily, if you don't shop at Amazon, that's absolutely fine. Continue to listen to us wherever you listen to us on the World Wide Web, and make sure you like, rate, review, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Doesn't cost you anything, helps us out, and we can continue to bring you the love fest that is The Shining Wizards.
What's up, folks? It's your boy, the Impact Player, Mr. Philly Ray, inviting all of you to check out the Turnbuckle Throwbacks Wrestling Podcast. Join us as we cover all things current in the world of pro wrestling, as well as paying homage to the old school, the Squared Circle. So listen in and find out why we are the recognized symbol of excellence in sports entertainment broadcasting. Find us on all social media platforms and anywhere you get your podcast from. And as always, we are the proudest members of the Shining Wizards Network and Rant Entertainment Media.
Are you tired of being lied to every day by the mainstream media?
Do you want to know what's really going on in the world?
Do you want to make up your own mind about things and not be told what to think or say?
Then listen to Inconclusive Breakdown, a weekly anti-PC look at the world of entertainment and current events, brought to you without censorship or filters.
You can find us everywhere you listen to podcasts, BitChute, and on ShiningWizardsNetwork.com.
And also, we're a proud member of the Shining Wizards Network.
Got 30 minutes to kill?
Come check out 30 Screams or Less, where we review a horror movie in 30 minutes or less. We cover new movies and old ones too.
We'll give our honest thoughts on the movie, good or shit, as well as a rating of each one that we watch.
New episodes weekly, available on the Shining Wizards Network and wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
I'm Steve.
And I'm Corey.
Come check us out at 30 Screams or Less.
G'day guys, my name is Thomas, one half of the Broadcast Podcast. With our podcast, we go back and watch wrestling events from WWE, WWF, WCW, ECW, AEW, and many other wrestling promotions. You can check us out on Twitter at The Brokast, that's TheBrokast, and you can also download all episodes on Apple Podcast, Castbox, Castro, and many other podcast apps.
If you like your music heavy, then check out Radioactive Metal on the Shining Wizards Network. For over 16 years now, Radioactive Metal has been one of the longest running podcasts. Over the years, we've interviewed some legendary metal acts, had some awesome discussions, and cranked a hell of a lot of tunes. So join your cool Uncle Snowy and his co-host Aaron for the audio mosh pit that is Radioactive Metal here on the Shining Wizards Network.
Well, the action is underway.
What's up, everyone? When on the Shining Wizards Network, be sure to check out Wrestling Night in Canada. If we're not recording another kick-ass podcast,
Or playing in punk bands.
Or recording kick-ass heavy metal albums,
then we're sitting back, we're grabbing a couple brews, and going over everything to do in the world of pro wrestling.
Because we're from Winnipeg, you idiots.
The Mark Order Podcast is the only show you need if you're looking for dedicated coverage of everything AEW on the Shining Wizards Network. Join us live on YouTube every Wednesday night at 10:15 p.m. Eastern after Dynamite to chat along with the show. If you can't join us live, listen to us on your favorite podcast platform. Follow us on all social channels at MarkOrderPod and use the hashtag #JoinTheMarkOrder, because if you don't find us,
we will find you.
I'm Kevin Rowe.
I'm Al Day.
And we're a couple of down under pounders that co-host Rogue Day Dots, an action figure collecting podcast where we talk about, well, just about anything that tickles our fancy at any given moment.
We're grumpy old men, and sometimes people get on our nerves. And when you get on our nerves, guess what? You get off the lawn.
Get off my lawn, asshole! We also go on a little bit of a mission. We go back and we're grading every wrestling figure line that's out there. I'm talking LJNs. I'm talking Jacks. I'm talking Hasbros. Who doesn't like a little Hulkaplex? It's a Gorilla Brain Wrestling podcast production found on the Shining Wizards Network.
I'm Duke Bags.
Kevin Rowe.
And together we are the co-hosts of your Duke and Road. If you want to hear about some terrible wrestling shows, we got you covered.
Well, we talk about good ones, too.
We're currently talking about the death of WCW.
I know what we're fucking talking about. Sometimes we get guest spots, like from the Taskmaster. I like to listen to the Year of Duke and Rope podcast. They're funny guys. I like when they talk about the Nards plows. I like Nards plows. That's a good move. And I like the Dungeon of Doom. You know, sometimes I call my butt the Dungeon of Doom. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, to Oklahoma.
Let me tell you a little bit about my favorite wrestling podcast. All right. It's a podcast from two men, Duke Bags, Kevin Rowe. They talk about professional wrestling. It's a man's sport, all right? And who better to talk about a man's sport than Duke Bags? Oklahoma.
And once in a while, Vince Russo stops by.
Oh, you piece of shit! If you're not listening to the Year of Duke and Rowe podcast in the back with the boys, you piece of shit, I don't know what you're doing. It's, you gotta slide one in there. If you're a man, you're talking about something only a man can do. You're talking about sliding one in there. Bro, take the time to slide one in there. All right, bro, you piece of shit, slide one in there. A Gorilla Brain Wrestling podcast production that you can find on the Shining Wizards Network.
All right, we're back here on the Mark Order podcast. We're going to talk about Dynamite in 1 second. Just want to take care of a piece of business first. And let you guys know that if you want to follow us on our socials, you can find us at Mark Order Pod on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, all over the place. And when you head over to our socials, you can go to the link tree in our profiles to find links to all of our socials and also to request some free stickers that we were talking about before. So all you got to do is click that button, give us your full name, your mailing address, the country you live in, and your email address in case you leave something off of your address so I can follow up with you. And I will send you out some stickers free in the mail. You get version 1 and version 2 absolutely free. And we've sent them all over the place. We've sent them all over the world, to Canada, to Spain, Australia, Austria. We're sending some out to Italy, all over the United States. We're over in Philly, New Jersey, Texas.
Don't give Ryan that. Don't give
No,
Ryan
our
the hometown.
stickers in the WWECW arena.
Oh, that's right. God, what
Um,
brand would you rather be associated with than that? Just
Seriously.
Prestige.
Texas, Florida, all over the place. So if you want your stickers, hit us up there. That's a free way you can support us. Another way you can support us, if you'd like to spend some of your hard-earned dollars, you can head over to our Pro Wrestling Tee store and pick up a t-shirt. We've got a button or a link straight in our link tree, but we've also can be found directly at prowrestlingtees.com/markorderpod, or just search for Mark Order Podcast on Pro Wrestling Tees, and you can pick up one of our fine shirts in the store. We've got a couple front prints, a couple double-sided prints. So if you spend money there, it goes right back into producing this wonderful show that you guys like listening to, and we thank you for that and for your support. And I do need to say, yes, go ahead.
Maybe it'll cover the cost of a Switch for me to get, you know?
Yeah, a light switch. Yeah, $1.25. That's perfect.
That's all we need.
I will say this. Now, I said this, I think, on Saturday's show, but there were some people who listened, but a lot of people were busy, and you're not going to go back and listen to a pre-show now that you knew what happened.
You should, if you fucking respect us.
Women especially.
Yeah, if you support women, you'll go back and watch a pre-show. It's a pay-per-view
right.
that you already know happened.
But I did put it out there that you can get your stickers. And I told the story that one Mr. I'd say a top tier fan of this show, Jesse Ozog, had requested some stickers. And I missed it. And it got sort of lumped in with another request, and I filled that request, and I didn't see Jesse's request because it came in the same thread. And Jesse was nice enough to let us know in the chat that he just got his. I appreciate that, Jesse. I left Jesse a personalized note in the letter I sent, letting him know something to this effect, but I will say it again. I'm going to live the rest of my life trying to prove my undying professionalism, not only to all of you listening or watching out there, but especially to Jesse Ozog. It was highly unprofessional. They were way delayed, and it shouldn't have taken that long to get to you, Jesse. I apologize from the bottom of my heart. It will never happen again. Never.
You know what, Ant? It's hard to move on. It is. It is hard to trust again after you did that. But you can't change the past. The only thing we can do is do better moving forward, honestly. And, we have to have our founders meeting and we can review the things that you and I also need to work on. But comparatively, don't even worry about a pumpkin. Good. Compared to some of the other things on the show.
I know. Moving on somehow. We're going to talk about Dynamite. So tonight was the Fallout episode of Dynamite, debuting from San Diego, California. Crowd was hot.
Yeah,
tonight.
Vegas. Maybe fucking learn something from San Diego.
Do you know San Diego stands for a whale's vagina? And it was founded by the Germans?
Doesn't it mean Saint Diego?
No, don't think so.
Yes.
No. So we lead off with a trios match. Bandito and the Lucha Brothers versus the Blackpool Combat Club. That was Claudio Castagnoli, John Moxley, and Wheeler Yuta pulling trios duty tonight, while we had Danielson on commentary for the match. Cutting to the end, the Blackpool Combat Club get the win by pinfall with a seatbelt pin from Wheeler Yuta on Bandito. A little bit of a full circle moment here, because if we recall last week, Claudio and Yuta lost the match against the Lucha Brothers for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship. So now they get a win back against this trios team. So all's right, I guess, in their world. They also are showing that they're still rocking and rolling after Anarchy in the Arena. Danielson also did make mention about how proud he is of Yuta and goes to the ring to raise his hand. He also mentioned once or twice he gets asked about Don Callis, and he said, "We'll hear from Don tonight, but I don't know. We'll see what he says." So I thought this was an entertaining match, nice trios match, good work out of Bandito, and everybody involved. So Schlong, did you love it or did you hate it?
Hated it. I liked Bandito's bug outfit. That was adorable. This was great. I mean, this is a really good trios match from 6 awesome wrestlers. I like that they're just throwing Bandito into different groups. It's like, hey, you're just our floater now. Did Bandito have a mallet before the match? Was that what it was in his hands?
A mallet?
To be honest, I'm not 100% sure. Schlong, I was in the middle of getting a 5-year-old to bed.
Yeah, no, I didn't notice a mallet, but I would believe you if you told me that.
I think he had a red mallet. Someone in the chat can tell me. But Ricardo's just telling us that he buys weed from Val Venus, which there are better people to buy from. No, this is excellent. I liked Danielson on commentary because he just is such a good jerk. And every time he would cheer for Yuta to kick out, and that Yuta had to read since Yuta took the pin last week, he had to rectify the situation with his wrestling over the weekend, and it's just really good. I enjoyed all of this. Kate,
who the fuck is on ROH and who the fuck is in AEW? Answer me that one, mister. But the match was fucking great. I don't like Bandito floating around everywhere. I want Bandito on a track. I want him on a consistent track on Dynamite or Collision or ROH as a singles competitor or in a trio. He's too much of a fun fucking little maniac to be just like floating around in the ether.
But
give that man some consistent direction. All right, well then stop having him work Orlando tapings for ROH if you're going to be using him on Collision. Like, give me. But match was really great. This was a whole lot of fun to open it. I love that the Blackpool Combat Club showed up tonight. We didn't really see a ton from the other side. Makes them feel a little bit more defeated. I think it was fun. And just, I mean, not like a much bigger collision of styles than these two trios, right? Very, very fun. But I just want to know what wrestlers are in what divisions at what parts of the company. Okay? I'll fire it up tonight. I went on my Matt rant. I got my man back. Ryan's touching Zack Sabre Jr. inappropriately with his switch comb. There's a lot happening tonight. I'll fire it up.
He's combing something. You are fired
and I was
up.
right. He had a red mallet. The chat is telling me I was right. I got it.
That's badass. You should always carry a red mallet.
No, it looks
Luis
like
R
said.
Luis R says Bandito was playing homage to a character named El Chapulin, Colorado.
Obviously, I knew that.
Clearly.
With my luchador history, because I know every wrestler.
He says that he had a red mallet. The character carried a huge red mallet that he beat up bad guys with. So there you go.
I love that for him.
Moving on, Marvez is backstage with the Elite. Matt Jackson says he once told Hangman he brings the best out in them, but Blackpool Combat Club bring the absolute worst out in them. He never thought he'd try to melt off a man's face with an explosive sneaker, but here we are. Nick says there's no setback can keep them down, and Adam Page says they're still standing and still swinging. But then we pan over to the Dark Order, who want to catch up with Hangman later. Adam says Kenny Omega is hurt and pissed off and out of the country, but he's not in Canada. And there's some tension between the Dark Order and Hangman here.
There should be. They should be fucking pissed. If I was the Dark Order, I would be. Stu Grayson's leaving them on ROH. Adam Cole just abandons them after not ever really joining them, and they're always having their backs. I'd be fucking pissed if I were the Dark Order.
Okay, tell us how you really feel.
I would be pissed.
Okay. Schlong, correct me if I'm wrong here too, but were there some words like did the Bucks tell Hangman to hang out, like not to go with them, and Hangman was like, I'll be back?
I didn't hear it because I just didn't hear it. I was too caught up in my emotions of how sad I am.
Why are you sad?
Fucking bitch, Kate.
I didn't even say anything.
I saw it. I saw you mouth it.
I was just a great emotions. It was an emotional segment.
It was an emotional roller coaster.
I'm gonna comb you both.
Combs. Switch comb.
I'm gonna comb you both. It's so bad. But you got the Stu thing that's breaking my heart. And then you have this with Hangman, and the Dark Order is not the rebirth that I was hoping for. I want the rebirth of the Dark Order, not the destruction of it. This is very, very sad for me. And Kate is there taking shots at me. It just hurts.
I was agreeing with you that it was very emotional.
It was. Emotionally stunting roller coaster.
It really was.
They go to commercial and come back with Schiavone in the ring, and he wants to interview Bullet Club Gold. So we get Rock Hard Juice Robinson and Kate. Was there another person who came out with Juice? Schlong, I swear to Christ, if you steal this from me, it's never happening again.
Oh, then you know I have to do it.
I believe his name is Jay White.
Okay. Does he have a nickname?
Knife Blade, Jay White.
Huh. I thought it was different.
The specific type of knife. But it's definitely not a hair product.
I thought it was maybe a Bowie knife. Is it the Bowie knife?
It's a switchblade.
Boom.
So close, Ryan. So close.
I almost timed it.
So, they get their arms around Tony, and Jay White's talking up Double or Nothing, says Ricky Starks thinks he's on top of the world right now after eliminating them both from the Blackjack Battle Royal, but Ricky isn't the international champion. And Robinson addresses FTR, saying the Bullet Club Gold wants to know why Dax and Cash saved Ricky. It just doesn't make sense to them. They're not friends because Ricky ain't got friends. He says FTR is slow and look dumb too. And he said he didn't actually think they were dumb enough to come and get involved in the Bang Bang Gang's business. And that's, of course, going to bring FTR
Bangity
out.
bang. Is that a bang, bang, bangity bang?
So Juice claims that they're there to apologize, and Jay does one better, saying that they must want to join Bullet Club Gold. All they have to do is ask, but they just better do it politely. That's when White accidentally drops the mic, handing it to Harwood. And that's when the Juice gets loose and gets a cheap shot in with a fistful of quarters, and a brawl ensues. So Switchblade takes Wheeler down with the Blade Runner, and then Ricky Starks comes to make the save. He gets on the mic and challenges Jay White to finish this off next week. So we will get Jay White versus Ricky Starks. FTR and Juice Robinson are banned from ringside. So it looks like we're going to get a blow off here. Looks like hopefully we're going to get the Bang Bang Gang versus FTR. I like that. I didn't mind this. And again, this is sort of like a moment where I'll just sort of say to you guys, obviously we are setting a lot of stuff up now that we've finished the big pay-per-view. So I didn't mind that we got a lot of this sort of stuff tonight because you need to reset now, right? So we're sort of doing that here, and I like the fact that we're going to get Ricky and Jay White next week. Kate, we're going to go to you first because you don't steal gimmicks.
It's true. I had huge problems with this. The first one, how dare you say Ricky Starks doesn't have any friends? Okay, I'm his friend. I'll be his friend.
I will say this. I'm going to stop you there because I'll say this. It is reported that when we were in Atlantic City, someone saw Ricky Starks talking into his cellular device while standing at the fountain at the Trop, eating takeout out of his styrofoam box, and it looked like he had no friends.
Okay, but you said he was on the phone. Probably talking to a friend.
He might have just been calling the operator and asking what time it was.
I don't think so. I think a friend brought him that dinner because he knew that he had such a busy day. And then he was on the phone with another friend. Who's not friends with Ricky Starks? I'd be friends with Ricky Starks. You'd be friends with Ricky Starks.
I mean, I know fashion. He knows fashion. Yeah, I think it's easy.
That's problem number one. Problem number two with this promo. Like anybody can just join Bullet Club Gold. You have to check your credit score.
Mm-hmm.
You have to apply. I don't even know what the points are if it's that good. There's a lot of legalese that goes into it. I don't know if there's an annual fee. You can't just go and join Bullet Club Gold. You got to see what other offers are out there. What if there's, in New Japan, you got TMDK. What if there's Capital One TMDK and I want that has a lower interest rate? So you can't just go and join Bullet Club Gold. What I did love about this is I think we're going to get FTR versus Rock Hard Juice Robinson and Switchblade. Blade. Jay White.
I fumbled it.
And that is going to be a whole bunch of fun. Very glad we're getting a blow off. And I liked the accidental dropping of the mic thing. That was like a fun device that they don't really use that often. So that was like a cute little way to let that segment unfold. But I think this is great. That's a really, really fun follow-up program.
Schlong.
So I thought this promo from Finn. Oh, not Finn. I was gonna say Finn Juice, but that former Finn Juice. I'm out.
Oh, we love Finley, but that's not getting Matt back here anytime soon.
I don't want Matt back here. Fuck him. He didn't say our name.
He didn't say our name. We're gonna jump him out.
But
acknowledge us.
That's it.
See, I know that. I know that much. You guys tell me I don't know anything about anything else. I know that much. Acknowledge me. Acknowledge me.
You are our tribal chief, Ant.
I liked this. I like the idea of FTR versus Bullet Club Gold. I like Switchblade Jay White, but I like Switchcomb Jason White better. I'm curious to see if we have another member coming over.
Who are you thinking?
It out?
I don't know, but that's just what went through my little old brain.
Well,
you'll have 3-on-3.
If it was someone from New Japan, we could ask Tony because Tony's the Japanese wrestling expert.
It's very true.
And Matt is persona non grata as the runner-up.
Yep.
Very
Wish
true.
I knew someone who knew New Japan.
I know two people, Tony Z on the Shining Wizards and Kieran of the Bread Club. Those are the only two people I know.
Those are the only two.
Nobody
Kieran's
else.
great.
I mean, maybe they can get someone from Old Japan. I said a bang, bang, bangity bang. I said a bang, bang, bangity bang.
So we go into our big announcement for the night after we get the Bang Bang Gang on screen. I just did that because Jesse Ozog said he didn't like it and he hoped no one said it again. So I had to say it again. I'm never gonna, I'm still, see, look at this. Now I'm sorry, but I'm digging myself deeper into this hole of non-professionalism. I'm so sorry.
It is always Jesse Ozog.
I know.
You got heat.
Oh.
You got heat with Jesse Ozog.
I don't.
He's literally a Shakespearean scholar.
I know.
How dare you.
And he listens to us. What the hell is wrong with him?
Do better.
So we got Cocaine Bear Tony Khan standing by for his big announcement on Collision. He says they've made some announcements about Collision over the past week, and he's here tonight to give us a little more info. It announces that Collision will feature CM Punk. So that's the wrong one, Kate. God damn it.
Still CM Punk.
So I think I should talk about this first because I clearly like CM Punk more.
We're not going to talk about it. What's there to talk about?
That's true. This is like non-event.
He is back. It's official. I'm so excited. We're going to see it in Newark. I got to see CM Punk in a wrestling ring again. I am pumped up.
You're punked up? Do you think they announced it so they'd sell more tickets?
Probably doesn't hurt. I think, and Warner might want that. They like as cool as the Sting moment. Yeah, as cool as especially a Saturday night. Like, I know when Sting was a genuine surprise, we all thought it was the coolest thing in the world, and they were like, "Hey, it wouldn't have been the worst thing if people knew Sting was coming back to pro wrestling television." With the Saturday night show and such heavy speculation, it's probably not the worst call, especially because you already had the he was gone for 7 years and coming back moment where it wasn't announced 2 years ago. I don't think there's any harm in this. But it's probably the right play from a ratings and ticket sales standpoint. But
really 2 years ago?
In
I'm not
July,
doubting you.
right? I'm trying to think of when I was like Death Before Dishonor Night 2 was late July.
Yeah, wow. That's so long ago.
Yeah.
So there's your big announcement. Hopefully that's the last one. But
Yeah, I can't sit through another Tony Khan.
Oh,
We
I
are
hope
happy
he keeps making announcements.
Announce that Collision will be the return of CM Punk.
I'm like, just say it. The worst part is it's pre-taped. They could have done multiple takes.
We just don't need 4 announcements in a row, bro. Like,
oh, I think we need like 8 in a row.
I think it's a troll job at this point. You got to be in for it.
That's the thing, is if they do it for another 6 weeks, I'm completely in. This is that in-between phase where it's not funny. And then
like this is the last like serious one, and then they just keep getting progressively dumber. And at Collision, we will sell hot dogs.
There will be ice cream bars.
Nope.
There's a question here. I'll put it to you, Kate. Gordon Post asked, now that Punk is back and I think Tanahashi isn't injured, do you think we might get the Punk versus Tanahashi match we didn't get last year at Forbidden Door?
I don't know. I would direct that question to Kieran at the Bread Club.
Mm-hmm.
But I think everybody is looking for the Kenta match. I don't really know what's going on with the greatest hair in all of wrestling, Tanahashi, but there's a lot of.
Does he need a comb?
He probably does, actually.
He needs a Vitacoli. That little thing won't help him.
A Tanahashi comb.
The Vitacoli is made out of whalebone.
Like, they're also teasing like Zack Sabre Jr. and Orange Cassidy. You know what I mean? Like, give us Danielson. Like, there's some things with Forbidden Door that I'm like, you can't.
It's true.
There's things you owe me from last year. I don't know if Punk and Tanahashi is one of them.
Yeah, no. I mean, we'll see. We've got to get to Forbidden Door. By the way, because I see Rob Humphrey says, and out here with strange comb facts. Anybody who doesn't know what the Viticolia is should probably look up the movie Blades of Glory.
Absolutely.
You can have as much mane and tail as you want. Never touch the Viticolia.
Never.
Big Bill Morrissey versus Shane Swerve Strickland versus Trent Beretta. Now this was of course set up by the Battle Royal because there was this alliance from Swerve and Big Bill Morrissey, and then Swerve turned on Morrissey to eliminate him, and Trent got eliminated by Big Bill Morrissey. So there's a little storyline running here, and they just wanted to put a match on TV. So I'll take it because I thought this match was pretty good. Big Bill can move. Swerve is great. Trent is great, and Swerve winds out coming through with the victory with a crucifix pin on Trent after he's able to take out Big Bill Morrissey. So I didn't hate this. I thought that this was good. We haven't seen much out of Big Bill. Swerve has been involved in TV a little bit, but nothing much past this Keith Lee sort of weird thing that's going on right now. And I'll take Trent anytime we see him in the ring. So, yeah, I didn't mind this match. There was a loose reason for it too. Ryan, what did you think of the match?
I think Swerve should never be allowed to drive based solely on his theme. I swear, why not drive? It's like, no, don't drive. This was fantastic. Listen, Big Bill may be stealing someone else's name, but he looked good tonight. Swerve is awesome. He was my pick to win the Battle Royal, so I still think he's getting that international championship. I'm a big fan, and this was a step in the right direction to me for Swerve. Where I wanted the Keith Lee payoff, but if you're not going to do that, get him into something real. And something real is a feud with Orange Cassidy. So I'm very excited for where this is going because that's going to be a fun as hell match.
Kate, what'd you think of this three-way?
This was way more fun than I thought it was going to be. This was a blast. Love. Swerve and Trent, especially, just some really, really fun spots in this. And Big Bill was he looks pretty good in this. He kind of just used to lumber around, I feel like, and was kind of void of much personality, but he brings a lot more energy and a lot more fluidity than he used to. And he was in the ring with the right guys. But this was a whole bunch of fun. The Swerve train should keep moving. I think it's very weird that we never got a personal one-on-one match with him and Keith Lee. I think if they wanted to do that for the title, that's not a good idea because it was such a personal feud. But I love Swerve, and I love seeing Prince Nana on my television as well.
A fun match, and we do see Swerve a little bit later on, or his stablemates a little bit later on, so we're going to continue to talk about it. But we get a video package about Chris Statlander's return to become the AEW TBS champion Sunday. If you haven't seen that video yet, it's all over their socials, so you should go see it. It's a pretty good short video. We get the Angel, Renee Paquette, interviewing the Acclaimed Daddy Ass on stage, and Billy Gunn says things didn't go quite as they'd planned, but that's okay because anybody can get beat at any given time, and his regret comes from letting the two guys he cares most about down. But Max tells him not to blame himself because they win as a team and they lose as a team. So Bowen says that they got screwed out of a tag team gold and they want it back, and puts Billy Gunn's 30 years over and says he deserves to hold gold one more time in his career. They love Billy and everybody loves the Acclaimed. They scissor and we're out. Now I'm being honest, guys. I thought maybe there was something coming here where somebody was turning on somebody, and maybe we're gonna get there. But I thought maybe that moment was sort of coming tonight. Thought maybe they could turn on Daddy Ass tonight. I think the Acclaimed is still very over, so probably would have gotten a reaction. But I don't know. We're saying we're still a trio, and Daddy Ass is gonna hold gold again. So. We'll see. Kate, what did you think about this? Do you think there was going to be some funkiness happening here too?
I didn't think here. I think down the line, you want the Acclaim to be a tag team and not a trio. So they'll probably do that split at some point. I just didn't like this because the Acclaimed aren't owed anything. Like, to say that you were owed something from the title, I'm like, you didn't even pick a stipulation from the match you just had.
Right.
If you like, that felt very incorrect to me, and you mostly lost pretty clean. So I didn't love the promo, but nothing. That's just nitpicking. I don't need to see them like run this back again. I don't think, but I think ultimately you want the Acclaim to end up back in the tag division. So it would make sense to splinter them off.
Schlong, anything you want to add here?
I did feel like this was the start of the end for the trio, but I also think like is not from an whatever my mind went to, like, I don't know if I would end it now. Run that moneymaker down till there's no more money to be had, because they are still very popular, and I know from an entertainment point of view it might be better to end it sooner rather than later. But if I'm them, I'm like I'm doing this thing until people are no longer chanting "Scissor me daddy ass."
True. Well, we'll see, because they sort of, I think they're maybe bringing you one way, but they're gonna bring you a different way. We're gonna swerve it, no pun intended. Let's see. Back from commercials, Shivani's in the ring interviewing what he calls a human piece of garbage, Don Callis and Takeshita. They make their entrance to huge boos from the crowd. And Callis goes to speak, and every time he opens his mouth, the crowd gets louder. But he says he sincerely hopes that the boos he's hearing are for Kenny Omega, because he's the real victim here. That's Don Callis. He claims all of Kenny's success has been because of him. And every morning he has to look in the mirror and stare at the scar on his head, and he blames Kenny Omega for it. And Callis says that Kenny destroyed his family. Maybe he lost a nephew, but he gained a son. He says he says that as he's pointing to Takeshita, and says Takeshita is the best athlete he's ever met, better than Rico Dozan, better than Antonio Inoki, better than Akira Maeda, better than Kenji Muto, better than Okada. Of course, that means he's better than Kenny Omega. And Takeshita grabs the mic and cuts his promo in Japanese before saying in English, they're going to destroy the Elite, and they will destroy Kenny Omega. And Don says he's going to build a new family and cut the Elite out of AEW. So, guys, what I take away from this is two things. The reaction was perfect, right? Don Callis was already hated, but now he's hated even more. And the crowd is reacting to it the way it needs to be reacted to. Also, the biggest part I took away from this is that Don closed saying he's going to build a new family. So who else is he looking to sort of build a stable with, including Takeshita? Anybody have any thoughts on who he could possibly look to build the stable with here?
I don't know if that's supposed to hint as more than the Blackpool Combat Club. Like, I don't know if he'd be like officially managing them or anything, but Takeshita and the Blackpool Combat Club just seems like such a natural fit. I'm tempted to think that it just goes that way. And there's also so many stables running around here. I still don't like the explanation of why a father figure violently turned on Kenny Omega and tripped up the One-Winged Angel. Because John Moxley is the one that gave him the staples. Kenny Omega just wasn't there. Is a pretty weak ass abandonment of father-son level relationship. I think if I can't see like just my dad doing that to me. So I didn't love that, but buddy, it didn't matter because he got booed the fuck out of town. Holy crap. This was heat. I loved the way Takeshita's playing this facial expression wise, but I don't know if I'm thinking too far ahead on the family aspect of it yet.
Ryan, thoughts on the family? Asian Joe specifically said he can only imagine it's Dominic Toretto and his crew. That would be one of our pals.
No, those are good family members. This is bad family members. It's like the mafia family.
Though they seem furious.
Well done, Kate.
They might be quick.
Done.
They might be fast.
They definitely are furious. I don't know about the family thing. That I didn't read into it like that, so I'd have to give it more thought. I'm with Kate that the logic is light, but the biggest bastards in history, their logic is usually pretty light, like pretty easy to pick apart. But then I think, Takeshita, why do you trust this guy? He just betrayed someone he loved for years. He's not going to look out for you. Also, I'm pretty sure the minute you sign with Don Callis, you stop wearing a shirt.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm just saying.
There's no ladies complaining about Takeshita not wearing a shirt.
If you got it,
I'm not complaining myself, but I'm just saying.
Takeshita was not really picking up any wins without a manager, so I can buy into I signed with someone who might be able to leverage me some dubs.
Yeah, especially after what he did for Kenny by God Omega.
There it is.
There is a video package from Arn Anderson talking with Wardlow about his victory and how biting the dinosaur's thumb wasn't that big deal. And that's when Mr. Mayhem says that there's no limits to how far that they go. And if Luchasaurus wants next, then he can finish the job. So it looks like at some point we're going to get Luchasaurus and Wardlow. I don't think there's anything else to add there. I did like them just saying, I bit his thumb off. And then we get into a tag match of the night. Darby O'Allen and Orange Cassidy versus the Gates of Agony, Bishop Kaun and Toa Leona. And Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy win by pinfall with a coffin drop from Allin on Bishop Kaun. Post-match, Swerve and Cage and Prince Nana approach the ring, but who reappears? Kate, do you know who reappeared?
It's Sting!
Perfect, thank you.
You're welcome.
And he's able to get the heels to run off. So Sting is back after sort of separating from Darby so he can run that four-way match by himself on his own, and he's there to even up the odds. So we do go to find out later that we will get Orange Cassidy and Swerve for the TNT title. And perhaps this is where we see a change. And I wouldn't be mad if Swerve does take it off him. But as far as this match goes, I thought it was a lot of fun. I like the team of Orange Cassidy and Darby O'Allen. The Gates of Agony are a lot of fun in the ring. Kate's probably going to ask, what are they part of Ring of Honor? Are they part of Collision?
They're the 6-man tag champs in Ring of Honor. Come on.
But yeah, I thought this match was a lot of fun. Schlong, did you like it?
Did I love it? Did I want some more of it? No, it was very good. I don't get the pairing of Darby and Orange Cassidy a whole lot. Like, just kind of random. I know it's been done before, but it's still just random to me anytime it's thrown together. I love Sting coming back because I'm a big Sting fan. I don't like the Gates of Agony in this match because they were going to lose. And even though they're a 6-man tag champ, but not a tag champ, still don't like champs taking losses when they can be avoided. So that kind of is like a little nitpick on my end that I never like that. But the match itself was great. I mean, it's so funny to watch these two small guys beat these two monsters. And I think all four of them did a very good job of telling that story. So I was a big fan. I was a little upset we didn't get like an Elvis thing before Darby came out, but
Of course.
Can't win them all.
Of course. That would be too.
Kate, thoughts?
This was a whole heck of a lot of fun. I'm pretty sure AEW forgot that they are champions too, so that's probably why the booking was what it was. But this was great. Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin are so over in such different ways that having that crowd reaction was just kind of a blast, I felt like. And it's a good way to get Orange Cassidy on TV without derailing the story at all. Like I think they're headed somewhere with Swerve and OC. So I think this was a good use of it and was a super fun match. I'll take it.
Moving on, we get MJF with a video package promo about how Allen losing to the headlock takeover again is proof of what kind of competition he has. And they're running out of people, and nobody's on the level of the devil. So I think we talked about this a little bit in our pre-show. I think we all sort of think that next person up is going to be Adam Cole.
Baby.
But Adam Cole has a match that we still have to talk about. So so nobody directly stated yet by MJF, but what do you expect? He's a cocky son of a bitch. He's going to weasel his way out of whatever happens. Don't know if anybody has anything to say, but we can move on. Okay. Shivani back in the ring, and he says they have a special interview, but Hook comes out to interrupt him. And before Hook can get an answer out on anything, La Facción Ingobernable make their debut, or make their entrance to interrupt him. And Jose talks about how they only get TV time by interrupting Hook like this, and put Roosh over as too dangerous to be here before setting up Dralistico and Preston Vance to attack Hook. But that's when the Jungle Man, Jack Perry, makes the save with a chair, walloping Dralistico and Preston Vance, sending Jose into the ring to eat a suplex from Hook. And it looks like we got a little Jungle Hook action happening again, but it is interesting. We've got that Jungle Man Jack Perry in his leather jacket. That's usually a heelish look.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be a perfect turn to have. And we know Jungle Jack wants gold, so there would be a clear and easy motivation. And I don't hate the idea of Hook losing the FTW title to Jungle Boy, though it seems like the least FTW-ish champion in the whole wide world.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there could be some fun stuff that you play into with that, because that guy is like not like a, oh, that guy reminds me of Taz guy.
Right, of course.
But I think that could be really fun.
Schlong, anything you'd like to add about Hook and
Jungle Hook sounds like a weapon you use to traverse the jungle. Other than that, no. I like LFI. I like LFO. I like
When Girls Stop By for the summer.
For the summer. I was going with the Abercrombie and Fish, but I get it. So I liked all this, and I'm interested to see if they're going to start using Hook more regularly, because that's the one thing they have to start doing. He's too sporadic. He needs to pick up and actually be used on a near weekly basis if they want him to be like a real player.
Don't disagree with you, Schlong. I do not disagree.
Agent Joe nailed it. Jungle Hook is a bare necessity.
A simple bare necessity.
Oh boy. The Queen, Renee Paquette, interviews the Outcast backstage, and Toni Storm said she's done what it takes to get here, but nobody in the locker room is good enough to carry her bags. Ruby says nobody can touch her work ethic, and that's moving. Toni says she's going to defend the title like a fighting champion, and that's at the house show this weekend. And Saran questions if there's anybody good enough. Storm says she'll keep a lookout. So they were mentioning a lot that Toni Storm is going to be defending the title at the house show, the House Rules show coming up, I guess, this weekend. So maybe we'll get to see a little bit of that next week, or like a video clip or something that'll come out, because it'll be interesting who the competition actually is. Anybody want to venture a guess?
I'm gonna say for funsies, Willow with her New Japan Strong title, as Toni Storm had showed up there to punch Fred Rosser in the dick, as we previously discussed. But the biggest part of that house show is that it seems like Jeff Jarrett is going to have a lot of responsibilities going on with these house shows, and I just hope he keeps his eye on the prize.
They seem pretty plug and play. I think he's still got plenty of time.
There's titles being defended, and it takes a lot of mental energy, and he needs to have his undivided attention.
No, I don't think that's really his point.
Nope,
I think
that's
his job is done.
exactly. He's got to coordinate, Ryan.
I think he just books the venue.
Nope.
You know what's helpful though?
A lot of logistics.
If he were there defending a belt, then he would be at all the
No,
shows.
no. You can't. Then your energy is like, I'm performing and I'm doing backstage stuff. You got to keep it clean. You got to keep it neat. You got to stay focused on executing the live show. Jeff Jarrett.
I think he'd get a good feel for the live show
Nope.
if he was there defending a belt.
Nope. Gotta stay focused on the backstage.
Maybe the tag belts.
What was after this?
We get Chris Statlander versus Nyla Rose for the AEW TBS Championship. So first time we're seeing Chris Stat back in the ring for for a match besides Sunday, that quick sort of finish. And Chris Statlander wins by pinfall with a 450 splash to retain her championship. Post-match, we see Taya Valkyrie watching backstage, and she's upset. And so didn't hate this match. It was what it was. Good to see Chris Stat back in the ring. I like the fact that Taya Valkyrie is just watching in the back, getting all angry.
Do you? I got a bone to pick.
Oh boy, go ahead.
Pick it, Kate. Pick that bone.
What was her stance while she was watching that television ad?
It wasn't correct. If I'm looking at the camera, right, like like a professional broadcaster would,
right.
She was sort of like just staring at the TV, right? If the camera's the TV, she was just kind of staring at it like this.
Okay, now be a goddamn professional wrestler, please, and show.
Hold on. I'm now facing the camera with my body, but I'm craning my head to watch.
Yeah, and your facial expression, by the way, was fucking perfect. Yeah.
You can still see everything.
I thought when they signed Taya Valkyrie, they were getting a professional. I did. She's worked all over the world. How many TVs has she watched wrestling matches on backstage in her lifetime?
Countless.
I have made a lot of complaints about the women's division. I have praised when it has gotten better, but I will be damned if I will let this kind of behavior go unchecked.
She will be damned.
I will be damned. Poor Nyla, man. Give her something to do besides be the first loss to newly crowned champions. Like, turn her face, have some fun. They got to give her something better to do than this role, because it's like they were doing with Lance Archer, man. Come on now.
True that. Schlong, you're a fan of both of these ladies. What'd you think?
Good match. That 450 was awesome. Chris Stat just looks really good. She's so well built now and gonna crush some people. I think Taya works better as a heel, so I think I like what they're hinting at there. Nyla does need to turn face and be given more fun. I'm hoping with Collision. I know the thoughts are they're not going to separate the women's roster because there's just not as much depth there, but you're going to have to use everyone you have. So maybe they can actually start using her in fun ways. But overall, solid. And I really liked when Taya was watching the camera, how she was just facing it. Like watching the TV, she was just facing the TV. I thought that was really nice.
Go calm yourself.
Oh, come on now. Let's go easy. Okay, moving on from this, they do hype up next week's shows, and I'll say this: I don't have every one of them written out, but the Rampage card looks absolutely wild. This week, Zack Sabre Jr. is defending his championship. Kate's also happy, very happy. Shibata is defending his Pure Championship. That should be good. Willow is defending her Strong Women's title. And there's one more I can't think of, but the card for Rampage actually looks pretty good.
Why are there more ROH titles defended on Rampage than there are on ROH in a 19-match card? However, come on. Look at this card. 2 nights in a row I'm getting Zack Sabre Jr. matches. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
One against Rocky. One against Action Andretti. I'm getting Willow on my TV. Against Emi Sakura, I believe.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
We're having some fun. This is going to be better than any of the Night of Champions bullshit that or what is it? Clash of the Champions, Battle of the Belts. Yeah. All the same shit. This is going to be so much better than that.
It is. And then we're into our main event of the evening. Adam Cole and Britt Baker Britt Baker, D. And Adam Cole.
Was a team player. I mean,
and
I just
Adam
want to make a
Cole.
note for our founders meeting that Ryan was not a team player.
Understood. I'm saying the name, Britt Baker and Adam Cole.
Baby!
Thank you. Versus Chris Jericho and Saraya in a mixed tag match. So obviously when the ladies tag in, they will wrestle each other. And when somebody tags in one of the male competitors, they will wrestle each other. Although this broke down a little bit throughout the match. Adam Cole and Britt Baker win by pinfall with the boom from Cole on Jericho. And that's really the show. So, mixed tag matches aren't always my favorite. There was a lot of big names in this one. I think it was entertaining, but
Sports entertaining?
I guess. Well, not really. They didn't win.
Yeah.
But I didn't have a problem with this. I thought it was an entertaining match. Kate, did this get you fired up in any way?
This didn't feel like the main event of the show, but I liked it a lot better than what they did at the pay-per-view. And nice to see Britt back in action. She was fighting some more nagging injuries, I think. So her coming back here is good. She looked good. Saraya looked good. No complaints about what Jericho and Adam Cole did tonight. This just didn't feel like the best match of the show, but I'll take it.
Okay. And Schlong, what about you? What'd you think here?
I enjoyed the match. I liked the matching gear between Britt and Adam. I thought that was neat. Doing the matching baby was cool. They had a couple really cool spots. The one where Britt jumped off the top rope and landed on Jericho, I think. A lot of neat stuff. I'm not a huge mixed tag match guy myself because the rules tend to make it slow. If you're not, it's better if you let the men wrestle the women or women wrestle men, because then it's just chaos. But when one has to tag out, I just think it always makes the match more boring. But I hope this is the end of the Jericho Cole feud, so Cole can move on to the greener pastures of MJF.
Couldn't agree more with you there. Kate, what'd you think?
I already gave my thoughts. Did I?
No. Did you? Oh yeah, you did.
You sure did.
Sorry. I was reading something else coming up. My apologies.
I was like, did I not say a bunch of stuff that I just thought I said? Have I gone mad?
Sorry. I'm preoccupied with reading something else. So listen, I'll say this. The leading into this, and I think I kind of said it, but I just do want to reiterate the fact that we got a mixed tag was something I said I don't need to see that. I am with you that it was way entertaining, more entertaining than what we got at a Sunday night with all those shenanigans. We also got, I should mention that we also got Riho, not Riho, Jesus, Sheeta. Sorry. I don't like either one of them, so I'm mixing up.
Did she have a lead pipe?
No, she had a kendo stick. But I thought this match played out the way it needed to. Let's move everybody on from here. Maybe Jericho, this somehow leads to Jericho sort of breaking everybody up. I don't know. I just want to see everybody move on and Adam Cole can get to his next phase. But that was the end of the show. Tonight was a lot of sort of setup for what's coming up. They do have to get to Forbidden Door later in June. So I think some of these pictures are going to start getting clearer over the next few weeks.
Hell yeah.
Rampage should be fun this week. I think it's on its normal time. And apparently they did much better last week when they were back on in their normal time slot. So we'll keep an eye out there. All right. 2 little pieces of news and notes. One, back in March, there were reports that Matt Jackson had tore his biceps. And then apparently it has come out. He put it out there. The doctors were trying to get him to surgically sort of repair that tear. But he decided against that course of action. He said in an Instagram post, I got hurt about 10 weeks ago, literally on day one of the beginning of a very important story that we started. I was told there was a good chance I wouldn't be cleared to perform again for 6 or 7 months after surgery. Surgeons insisted I get the muscle repaired immediately. I opted not to do surgery, rather try other therapeutic options that'd get me back quicker. I had faith that through the proper rehabilitation, supplementation, and prayer, I'd be back wrestling with a target goal of double or nothing. There was clearly a lot of doubt, but I wasn't going to miss it no matter what. In fact, I wasn't going to miss any of the events leading to it. During the process, I lived in fear that I was making a huge mistake, that my arm would never be the same again, or that I'd lose a bunch of strength. I had anxiety and many sleepless nights, that I'd let everyone, including myself, down. Thankfully, my wife Dana, my family, close friends, and various medical staff members supported and showed their love these past couple of months. After I hit my target, wrestling with my elite family by my side in Las Vegas meant so much to me, because the journey there was pretty rough. He gives out a couple more thanks, but he guess he didn't want to abandon the story, right? Because they would have
finished their story. Am I right?
That's it. They would have been stuck for like 6 or 7 months. So I guess I know why you wouldn't want to do it. I don't know why you'd want to do a thumbtack in the foot spot though either, if we're being honest. So
it's a fair point.
Actually, honestly, guys, I think that's all I got. No, that's all I got. Unless you guys have anything else you want to talk about from the week.
You can find me. I saw it leading in there, so I had to say it.
Okay.
My best
So
friend.
Kate's snuggling up with her best friend, who's in a figure box.
He's the man in the box.
It's a good one.
It's a great
Schlong,
one.
when you're not here, why don't you tell the people where you are and where they can find you?
You can find me running our Twitter at MarkOrderPod, which is all our social handles. Not live tweeting any dark shows.
Hello,
I'm never gonna
darkness,
get over
my
that.
old friend.
Why do you
But
do
you can talk to me and be not a jerk there, and I'll have some fun. So that's where you can find me.
Kate, where can people find you?
Well, I'll tell you where you can find me every Wednesday night, and that's at the Mark Order podcast, because some people just don't fucking want to tell the world that, but I will.
That much.
You
I know
know,
that much.
Catch me on Fightful Select on Mondays. You can catch me on the main channel Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and you can catch me at Excite Wrestling on Saturday at the Oakdale Mall. Not doing the Friday one. No internet there right now. Seems like a silly waste to go and comment to nobody. But Saturday, I'm going to be there. Probably talking a bunch of shit about Mike Skyros. Tell him what a little punk ass bitch he is. I might powerbomb him.
Whoa, easy. You are shot out of a cannon.
Yeah. Twitch.tv/Excite Wrestling with an X to see will I not powerbomb Mike Skyros, the Excite champion.
Spoiler alert, Kate's not powerbombing him.
No.
Learn to fucking promote. It's another note for our founders meeting.
All right. We're going to take it all into consideration.
Dickhead.
Well, as far as where you could find me, you could find me here on Wednesdays, pretty much exclusively. Can't get work anywhere else.
Oh, look at you promoting the Wednesday show.
I have to. And if you would like to promote us, you can share our social handle at MarkOrderPod, and you could follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all over the place. If you go to any one of those pages, our link trees there, you can find links to all of our other socials, but also 2 ways that you can support us. One is your free option. That is by clicking the button to get some free Mark Order Podcast stickers. All you got to do is click the button, enter your full name, your full mailing address, the country you live in, and your email in case I have any questions about your address, and I will send you out some of these free Mark Order Podcast stickers anywhere in the world. As I mentioned before, we we've sent them out all over the place, and it's wild to think that people are actually elsewhere listening to us ramble on about AEW wrestling. Yes, Kate.
Ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. We're gonna have a Mark Order podcast sticker up there.
Oh my goodness!
Hilarious. Tip of the finger, it's just our sticker.
Yeah, the round one.
Yes, that would be perfect.
Whatever's ahead.
For those of you who want to support us with some of your hard-earned dollars, there is also a button in the link tree to go over to our Pro Wrestling Tees store. All you got to do is click that button. It'll take you right here, or go to prowrestlingtees.com/markorderpod, or just search Mark Order Podcast on Pro Wrestling Tees, and you can find our shirts, 2 single front-sided prints, 2 double-sided prints. As we said before, any of the money that you spend there on our merchandise goes right back into producing this wonderful show that you like watching. And all the people who watched us live tonight, thank you for doing that. Jesse Ozog, who I humbly apologize to, I never will stop.
Do better.
Asian Joe, Rob Humphrey, Gordon Post, Jesse Ozog, another Jesse Ozog, Rob Humphrey. Sorry, I'm going through my list here. Everybody watching, thank you. We appreciate that. If you could subscribe to us on YouTube, believe it or not, that greatly helps us out.
Yeah, fucking do it. And leave a thumbs up.
Leave a thumbs up. Leave a review. Rate us.
Don't be a dickhead. Subscribe and leave a thumbs up.
And if you do subscribe, Kate, what does that person support?
Women.
Besides us.
You support women everywhere. And our rights as women in the world by leaving a thumbs up on this video and hitting and smashing that subscribe button, you're smashing the patriarchy.
Boom. I like
Nailed
it. To those of you not watching live and listening in podcast form later, thank you for doing that. We appreciate you too. So if you could also, if you're listening in podcast form, review, rate, subscribe, all of that helps us too for the podcast platforms. So if you take a few minutes out of your day, that is greatly appreciated. Man, other than that, I don't really have anything else. I think we're pulling this train into the station, and next week, what was that, Schlong?
Choo choo.
That's exactly what I want to hear. Next week we'll be back on Wednesday night to talk about Dynamite and everything we're lining up to Forbidden Door. Hopefully some more of the pictures become a little clearer. But hot show tonight, should be pretty good next week. And we will talk to you then. Ryan, thank you. Kate, you stay on. We'll have our meeting.
Yes, of course.
And we will talk to all you lovely people next week right here on the Mark Order Podcast, part of the Shining Wizards Network.
This concludes the Mark Order Podcast. We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming. Join the Mark Order.